Welcome, everyone, to TJ and the Grumpy Old Man, the twice-a-week sports podcast that takes place every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Near those times. We shoot for those times. I'm your host, TJ, and with me here, as always, is the Grumpy Old Man. They say there's no shame in his game because he is always the same.
That's me.
Grumpy, how are you doing this fine Thursday evening, man? Thursday evening.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I've been better, but okay.
Why have you been better? What's wrong, Grump?
I was watching a hockey game today.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, the Islanders do not look great tonight. Got to temper expectations, as I said multiple times on that show.
Yeah. They just put up a stat, and they said the teams that have the highest percentage of defensemen scoring points, it's Arizona, San Jose, the Islanders, and the Devils.
Oof.
What does it tell you about those teams?
They do not score a lot of goals.
They all suck. That's what it tells you. They have no offensive firepower, and they're all bad teams. So,
Oof.
okay.
Nobody likes to hear that. But for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Again, as I mentioned, this is a twice-a-week sports podcast. If you enjoy the show, the best way to make sure you don't miss out on any of the action is by subscribing on YouTube, liking on Facebook, and following on Twitter. Today, we've got a lot to talk about, Grump, as it is every single podcast when we're on the All Sports Show. We get to talk about, your favorite, Hans Niemann, Grumpy. Hans Niemann, new upcoming chess superstar, is suing Grumpy Old Man. He is suing. He's suing a few different individuals. He's suing Magnus Carlsen. He's suing Hikaru Nakamura and chess.com for $400 million in damages. And I'm just like, holy shit. So Hans Niemann making his little round. We'll talk about that. We've got Emoni Bates, who's a little bit of hot water, high school superstar, and a little bit of hot water. I think after a charge there, a possession of a firearm or something like that. I don't know. We'll talk about it, Grumpy, without getting too far in depth. But possession of a firearm gets him a little bit of hot water. The Memphis basketball phenom as well. We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, Grump, in the headlines, and not for the good reasons. He walked off the mat. He walked off the pitch yesterday in the 89th minute when Man United was facing off against Tottenham. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, the fallout, the backlash, the dividing between Man United fans in pro Cristiano Ronaldo camp and pro Eric Ten Hag camp. So we're going to talk about that. And also Elijah Moore, second round draft pick in the 2021 NFL draft for the New York Jets, is looking and requesting to be traded already. Holy crap. A lot of unhappy campers around. So this podcast is called the Unhappy Campers episode, Grump.
And that's not even Mbappe today said that he told PSG it's going to be him or Neymar.
Oh, so Neymar is the issue there, huh? That's right. We didn't even talk about that because we didn't have our show on Sunday. That's right. Kylian Mbappe is looking to leave PSG, already unhappy.
He did say that it was all fake, supposedly, but they keep on, these things keep on leaking out. Go figure. Interesting, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, I do find that quite coincidental, Grumpy. That Kylian Mbappe just happens to. We always see, hey, dude. Really quickly, not jumping all over the place. Did you see him just getting mercilessly booed by the French fans? The Ballon d'Or was held this week as well, and I believe it was in France. Grumpy, the fans were less than thrilled about Kylian Mbappe.
Well, you know what? I don't blame them. I don't understand. We'll talk. Is that what you want to talk about first?
Well, you know what? Let's talk. You know what, Grumpy? Sure. Let's jump into it. Kylian Mbappe.
He was supposedly ticketed for Real Madrid. Now, I like Real Madrid. Everyone knows that. They're my team. And Mbappe was, for years, ticketed there. He had the option of signing there 5 years ago, and he backed out at the last minute. All going into last season, before the season, they wanted Kylian Mbappe, and they offered PSG 200 million euros, dollars, whatever the heck it is, a lot of money.
A lot of money.
And he was ticketed there, and then he was free to sign in January. He said, well, he wants to wait until the end, until his free agency comes up. He wants to wait till the end of the season. Does that sound familiar to any Islander fans? I don't know. Go figure it out.
Okay. When you explain shit, you just fucking man, come on, Grumpy. Okay. Don't just go ahead and like rattle it off like you're trying to get through a story that has a lot of content. You're trying to get through it in 2 freaking minutes, Grump. You didn't even explain for those listeners who may not know who it's an all sports podcast, Grump. Some people might not even know who Kylian Mbappe is, Grumpy.
Okay, Kylian Mbappe is one of the best soccer players in the world.
Correct. A young player. Good.
And at 19 or 20 years old, he won the World Cup with France. And, he's a big star.
He's highly vied after. Every single team wants Kylian Mbappe. If they could get their hands on him, there wouldn't be a single team in the world that would say no to Kylian Mbappe. Well, there might be one team, Grumpy, who says no to Kylian Mbappe.
And it's a team that he supposedly wanted to go to since he was a kid, when Cristiano Ronaldo was his biggest fan. They met together at Real Madrid, and he's always wanted to play for Madrid. Had Ronaldo posters all over the wall. Real Madrid, Real Madrid, Real Madrid. Last season in Champions League, the fans gave him a rousing ovation, even though they beat PSG. They were very courteous to him. And then come free agency time, come
toward the tail end of the year. He had his contract had expired. It's not free agency, for example, but his contract was up. And
right.
he was weighing his options of where he would go. Real Madrid was
his preferred destination. That's what he's been telling everyone forever and ever and ever. 2 days before he signs, he changes his mind to go to PSG. Paris Saint-Germain, goes back there. At the time, it didn't bother me. Now, it bothered Son X extremely a whole lot, because he felt like his team was jilted. Me, I like Mbappe. I thought he was necessary for Real Madrid. But at the end of the day, he didn't want to go there. You don't want him. 5 months later, he's unhappy with signing an extension with PSG. And
that was okay there. Slow. I feel like I've got to interrupt you every single time to get you to. We could go. Just put a little bit of brake on, Grumpy. Got to put the little brakes on, Grumpy. Hey, that's right. That was the rumor. He was unhappy. They had given him to sign back with PSG. They had given him ultimate control of signings. They had given him a whole bunch of, I would say, rights, I guess in the contract, or a whole bunch of items in this contract that he had direct control over, that usually a board has control over. People who are usually, I work in soccer. I'm part of, soccer operations. I'm the president of the team. Those guys have control, but they gave it all to a player. So it would be like almost Tom Brady having complete control over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who they sign, who they trade for. It's like having complete control over the entire structure of the team, having control over who the head coach is. Pretty much that does happen across all the sports now, but having a big say and having the final word. Well, he was unhappy, as Grumpy mentioned. That was the rumor. Unhappy after 5 months signing back with PSG and wanting to leave. And that's where we see this, right? He set the record straight. He went out there. He was quiet as a church mouse. He gets booed in France at the Ballon d'Or, that goes to the best soccer player in all of sports, the best soccer player or the best football player across the entire world. And he comes out afterwards. No, I'm very happy. I never asked to leave in January. I'm not sure I buy that, Grump.
Yeah. And then today, he comes out, and it's been leaked once again that he told the Paris Saint-Germain that it's either Neymar must leave or he will. He considers Neymar, his lack of discipline, a toxic element.
Wow.
And here's the thing. PSG tried to move Neymar in the offseason. They couldn't because of his exorbitant salary, and they wanted a whole bunch of money back. So that was one of the things that Kylian Mbappe was pissed at, because he had a blacklist of guys he wanted off the team. Now, quite a few of them are gone, but they didn't follow up by getting him a new striker or by getting them a new defensive center back. and they didn't move out Neymar. So he was pissed at those
You
things.
know what real quickly, do you know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of when they tell these guys in the NFL, these quarterbacks, you're going to have control over who we're hiring as our next head coach. You're going to have some say and you're going to have some input. And they go and they run through the ladder of what they're going to be allowed to do and what type of power they have. And in reality, they don't have as much as they think. And newsflash, players, in case they ever promise you that you're going to have complete and total control, you don't. So don't ever go in with that expectation.
And now, because everyone knows he wants to go to Real Madrid, one of the only teams that can even afford him, they asked the president of Real Madrid, and they said, what about Kylian Mbappe? He's like, no, we're not interested in him anymore. We like how our other guys have developed this year. I wonder when Kylian Mbappe says, man, I made a mistake.
You say Mbappe funny. But yeah, that's right. Kylian Mbappe wanted to go to Real Madrid, apparently. The last second savior. PSG offered him everything. They offered him the farm. He stayed with them. But Real Madrid is like, you know what? F it. We have no interest. That's cutting off your nose to spite your face, I think, because Kylian Mbappe is extremely talented. And they said, we have no interest in him solely because what he did in the past by preventing them from that transfer last time period.
No, that's not the reason. The reason is, now I'm sure that the people in charge there are pissed off, but here's the thing. Kylian Mbappe brings a whole lot of baggage for a 23-year-old. The one thing about Real Madrid is they're a all for one for all team. There's no egos on that team. Would he upset that delicate balance? Possibly. Maybe even probably. But he's not a position that they need right now. He's just not. And if you're seeing guys who are a lot less expensive doing things that are almost as equal to him and the team plays with much more unity, why would you want to mess that up? They're supposedly looking for Erling Haaland, who's has a buyout clause in his contract in 2 years. And that's when Karim Benzema, who just won Ballon d'Or, is probably going to retire for the team or step down, and they're going to go after Haaland. So that actually is smarter for Real Madrid in the long run.
Here's the thing. Real Madrid does have the Ballon d'Or, best soccer player in the world, best football player in the world. Their striker won that. He had a fantastic year, best year of his career. So they said, well, we don't need an immediate replacement at striker. We were going to take one, right? If they were available for free transfer in the summer, sure. I'd just go ahead and pay you your contract and not have to pay any sort of release clause to get you. But now that, PSG has control over him, well, they're not going to have the same exact fortune. And I think it's going to be tough for Mbappe to move. I'm not sure. Besides Newcastle, I'm not sure anybody else has the pockets in order to go ahead and afford a guy like Mbappe. And with financial fair play, it's going to be really tough. I would say almost nearly impossible for Newcastle to acquire him. So I think he's kind of stuck at PSG. You reap what you sow, Grumpy.
He's not going to be leaving in January. That's for certain. Financial fair play is a joke in European soccer. That being said, like I said, he's not leaving in January. No way. Maybe this offseason, but that's a long time in the world of professional soccer. It's a long time. A lot of things can be worked out in that time. PSG is asking for 400 million pounds, dollars, whatever, as a transfer fee for him. And, talk about, except for Real Madrid, they said there's no way he's going to Real Madrid because they have real problems with those two organizations. But if you're any team that could have signed him in the offseason for free, why would you give PSG 400 million pounds?
Yeah, he's not. The big takeaway is he's not going to go anywhere.
No,
not at least in the near term future. He's in a situation where he signed that big contract. He is almost impossible to move at this point in time. So, he'll be there, and it's just funny to see how that develops. Not even 5 months later, and you see other presidents of football clubs overseas are asked questions about it, and they say, "Well, I guess he is. He is where he's going to be," and that it's kind of sticking it to him a bit after he stuck it to Real Madrid. Not very happy with how things transpired for Mbappe. I want to look at a few comments here too, Grumpy, before we kind of to move on to our next topic. Joseph C says the Devils can skate for sure. What was it, like 16-0 in the shot department for the Devils out of the gate?
It was 15-0 to start.
Was it really? I saw it was 10-0, and I kind of looked away, and I was like, gosh,
15-0. The Devils, the Islanders look really bad today, really, really bad.
And I would not assume the Devils are a top-tier team, ladies and gentlemen. So you remember in yesterday's podcast, I said, make sure you taper your expectations. We beat two really shitty teams. You've got to beat shitty teams in order to be good, right? But do not look at dominating a shitty team as the barometer as to how talented we are, because we saw tonight the Devils, I'd say, I think higher of the Devils than Grumpy does. And I think the Devils are a team that I think they're middle of the road. I think they're going to move out of the cellar, and they're going to be a middle of the road team. When you get dominated by a middle of the road team, when you're getting outshot 15-0, you're getting thoroughly dominated, Grump.
And it was 25-12 at the end of two periods in the shot totals.
And this is coming off of two games where the Islanders had back-to-back 40-shot performances.
And Sorokin has been sensational in net today. Sensational. Yep. And they were down. The last I know, they were down 2-0.
Yeah, I was about to say, that you're never as good as you think. You're never as bad as you think. I don't think we're as bad as we're playing tonight, but it's clear as day that the Devils team came out ready to play. You look at the shot totals. We're still. We've conceded 32 shots on that, Grumpy. And this is, remember, a home game. We're supposed to be good at home. Yeah. 2-2 record to start the season off at home is what's going to end. We have 15 shots.
15 shots the whole game.
Correct.
And
15
the game's
shots.
over?
There's 10 minutes left in the third period. 15 shots.
Not good enough.
You're on average maybe for 20, maybe maximum if you have a late push, maybe 23, 24. It's not a good game for them tonight. James F says, hey, fellas, the Owls look like crap. For certain they do. Goon says, should I be commended that I refuse to pay the dinero for ESPN Plus BS and can't watch our beloved Islanders, or am I merely a cheap bastard?
Cheap bastard.
I like the ESPN Plus. I mean, like I watch all my sports. It's just I don't have television. I just watch ESPN Plus, Netflix, Hulu. I do all the streaming services. I don't watch TV. Call me crazy. That's why I don't know what's going on, what's new around in the TV world either, though.
So let me ask you a question. Do you pay for Netflix?
No.
Do you pay for ESPN Plus?
I pay for Apple Plus.
No. Answer the questions.
We share. Look at this shit you're doing. You go ahead and use the streaming services I pay for, and you pay for.
You don't pay for any of them.
Bullshit.
Hulu.
What are you smoking?
Hulu. Do you pay for Hulu?
Yes.
No, you do not. Do you pay for Disney Plus?
Yes,
no, you do not.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely no, you do not.
I'm going to have to call the lovely Paige in here after this bullshit you're trying to pull right now, Grumpy. I pay for the ESPN. I pay for Disney Plus. I pay for Hulu. I pay for the Apple TV. Absolutely.
Apple TV you pay for. That's a service that nobody wants. That's the one you pay for. Everything else comes out of Big Daddy's pockets.
Yeah, sure. That's it. You know what? Let's go ahead and shift this. Let's shift the blame on Sun X. Sun X pays for nothing. Okay.
I didn't say he pays for anything. I just like how you're saying you do, but you don't.
You have no idea, Grumpy. You're not the Minister of Finance. We're going to have to take the warden on to talk to Minister of Finance.
Okay,
because you're out of it. Your old brain, Grumpy, just forgets. It's soft. It's kind of getting a little atrophied because you don't think as much anymore, Grumpy. So you forget who pays for what.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the streaming services, the warden has no say on that at all.
Ooh.
That's all me.
Ooh, the warden has no say on the streaming services. Grumpy,
ESPN, Disney Plus, Hulu bundle is what I got. I could pull it up right now, and guess whose name is going to show on there with a big circle around it after my name and Son X's name. It's going to say Paige. Guess who that is? It's not like I know a whole lot of pages.
I think you do, Grumpy. Yeah. Drew L says the Saints cannot guard DeAndre Hopkins. They hold every play on him once D-Hop beats them. I mean, if you're watching that game, what
I'm
does
not.
it tell you? Okay, here's the thing. Thursday night games are always sloppy, sloppy games. Always. My God, did Andy Dalton throw 2 pick sixes?
I don't know.
Okay.
Last I saw was 14-7 New Orleans.
Well, the score is 28-14.
But
I
for
see that
for
28-14 for the Cardinals.
oh, okay.
So the Cardinals, I'm seeing that Kyler Murray has 0 passing touchdowns, and there's only 1 rushing touchdown for the Cardinals. Hold on. Does that mean there's 3 pick sixes? Holy shit.
He has had 3 interceptions. Now that I'm looking at it, 3 interceptions.
I'm only seeing 1 offensive touchdown, unless there was a special teams, or maybe they went for a 2-point conversion too, because I do know they hit a few field goals. So, I mean, like you're looking at it, there had to have been 2 pick sixes for the Cardinals before the before the end of the second quarter. And Andy Dalton does Andy Dalton-esque type things. And this Arizona Cardinals team is not a great team. It really isn't.
You know
But
what? I was looking at the coaches and the mistakes they made last week. There are so many guys I'd fire at the end of the season. I wouldn't
which
even want to get
coaches?
to the
Which
huh?
coaches, Grumpy? Which coaches?
Cliff Kingsbury, blown out of the water. Who was
Nathaniel
Nathaniel
Hackett.
Hackett? Brandon Staley for the Chargers. Blow him out. Ron
Mike
Rivera for the Command. He's trying to get him. He's trying to Urban Meyer his way out of Washington. He's having explosive press conferences every post game, even when they win. He's cussing and attacking everyone. He's gone at the end of this year. He's absolutely gone. Matt Rule has already disappeared from the Carolina landscape. I just look at we all know John Harbaugh. Can he go on any more fourth downs and lose games? I don't know. Eventually, you got to get rid of him too.
You know else is going to be gone? Mike McDaniel. His bye week was about as bad as a bye week as you could hope for. Mike McDaniel, see you later. Josh McDaniel, I'm sorry. Josh McDaniel, see you later, buddy.
Oh, Josh McDaniels. No, Mike McDaniels is in trouble too.
I was about to say, right? Start off hot 3-0. Mike McDaniel now 3-3 for those Miami Dolphins. Well, let me ask you this. If the Miami Dolphins finish with a losing record this year, do you think his job is in hot water?
No.
The only reason I think maybe is because of all the additions they made this offseason. It wasn't like they just brought in McDaniel and said, here you go, work with what we have. They brought in Tyreek Hill. They have mortgaged so many pieces off to say, gotcha, we're going to be good right now. And if you're not good, who is to blame? The players are talented. Who's to blame?
They have the Tua excuse. They have the Tua excuse.
It's 3 games.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That didn't stop the Islanders from having an excuse for the whole season. I mean, no. I think he'll still have another year. Now, if they go 3-13, okay, he's gone. I just don't see that happening.
No,
I just like how I trumpeted them as potentially a playoff team, and as soon as I did that, that was like the kiss of death for Miami Dolphins.
Why did you have to put that bad juju on them, Grumpy?
I thought they were good. It's my mistake.
It was. Joseph C is going to send him the link. James F said the Islanders game is pissing me off. I thought the Devils sucked. They don't suck. I know they started off poor to the season. I told you the Devils were rounding the bend.
The Devils, by all metrics, by all the geek stats.
Oh, who gives a shit about the geek stats?
Well, but here's the thing. They're one of the best teams in the league. I
love the geek stats. Never mind. I'm a big fan of those geek stats.
For possession, shots on goal, high danger chances, all this stuff. But they were 1-2. And the only team that they could beat was freaking Anaheim.
Right? Yeah, those geek stats are great. What's going to happen is over the 82-game season, they might win 80 games, Grumpy, because they're number one in the geek stats.
What we're seeing today, though, is that teams with speed give the Islanders a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And I said that this was a game not that I didn't really care,
but
Anaheim and San Jose are both two really bad teams.
Correct.
And I'm like, I don't think the Devils are much better, but I was interested to see if we came out and played like we did against Anaheim and San Jose, I'm like, okay, I'm really believing. We got just skated off the ice today. And I don't know what the score is. Like I said, it was at the end of 2. It was 2-0 Devils. So I don't know what the score is now. But and Sorokin was sensational.
Okay.
And
It's still 2-0. Just give
okay.
you an update.
And his friend Peter Pipe helped him out with a couple of shots as well. Calvin Crossbar helped out Sorokin too, but he was just sensational. That's how bad the Islanders were. Just terrible.
The Sharks won their first game of the year in overtime against the Rangers today.
Oh, good for them.
There you go. And you've got the Anaheim Ducks. I think they're tied 1-1 against the Bruins in overtime.
Ooh.
So maybe those teams are really on the up and up, Grumpy. Maybe we're a lot better than what we think. Or here's the thing. Maybe we caught those teams who are subpar teams. We caught them and beat the living hell out of them like most teams did.
Well, I know Pittsburgh was up 6-0 in the second period today on the Kings.
Oh, wow. It's early. It's really early yet. You're going to see some really odd games in opera, like the Washington Capitals losing 5-2 to the freaking Ottawa Senators. You go, what?
Today?
Not something you expect, correct?
Oh, they were up 2-0 in that game.
Yeah, they lost 5-2. Okay.
Ottawa, another team on the roll.
Yeah, so it's early in the season, early in the season. But yes, the game is pissing us all off. I said you're never as good as you think, you're never as bad as you think. What a shock! I told you my optimism. I thought my optimism before the season started was never going to be higher. Well, I was wrong. 3 games in, it was at the highest because we beat the hell out of the lowly San Jose Sharks and the lowly Anaheim Ducks. And now, after a pure dominating effort by the Devils, I have tempered my expectations back down. We'll see how we do in the first 10 games. I don't think the 7-3 expectation that had to jump to is saying, oh, wow, gotcha, if we're beating these bad teams 7-1 or 7-2 and another team 6-1. Yeah, not going to happen. Sorry, guys.
We were throttled today. It was blowout. The score does not indicate how much we were outplayed.
Drew L says, if we want to talk Islanders, I like the line combinations at first, and then Lane put Pavillier back on the second line. And I was just like, why?
Yeah, Pavillier was playing with Barzal to start the game, and then 38 Special, who's just finished, and he had Wallstrom on the second line with Lee and Nelson. Okay, I understand you want to change up lines if things aren't working, but you just can't throw everything into the blender every 2 minutes because then you're not going to build any chemistry between players. So, I don't know. He looked pissed off from the beginning, Lane Lambert. Just listening to the ESPN crew trying to make excuses for the Islanders. They were still bringing up last year's COVID and the road trip to start the season to try to explain away last year. Maybe we just weren't very good. Your record is what it says it is.
Yeah, they are who we thought they were. Isn't that right, Grumpy?
Very true. Dennis Green. I think he's passed away. Didn't Dennis Green pass away? They were who we thought they were.
I couldn't tell you. James F. said, did you guys see the NHL retro jerseys? Yes, I had a little portion. We were going to talk about that today, so no better time than ever than right now.
All right.
Here are the retro jerseys, Grumpy. You're kind of get a look at them. I want to get your opinion as to which jerseys you like. I like that Florida Panthers jersey.
I don't.
Really?
I don't like the logo. I don't like the logo.
I like the color combination. It could use a little bit more white in there because it's just like everything's filled with color. And I've noticed that about a lot of these jerseys. Everything is just color all over the place.
Well,
I'm not a big fan of the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, see, I like the Canadiens. I like the Canadiens.
It's the same shit. Same shit. The Detroit Red Wings sucks. I'm like,
Terrible.
Please, no, thank you.
Terrible.
I don't need to go back to 1920 when that was like, the early 1900s when that was the jersey. It was just Detroit on it and just red and white. What do you think about the Flames?
No.
I was about to say.
I don't like that little center stripe. I mean, what is that? Is that like, hall monitor or something? Like you see the little stripe that's like vertical stripe. What is that? A milk monitor this week? I mean, I don't like it. No.
I don't either. But I think just like, I guess that light blue matches with the kind of like sunny and relaxing, like Florida look to it, the Florida beach with the palm tree.
I just don't
I kind of like it.
I just don't like the logo.
Okay.
That used to be like their sleeve logo, and now I don't like it on the front.
The Oilers, yikes.
No. I remember when they.
Like a gear or something like that with an oil drop in it?
Oh, I thought it was actually what I thought it was like something in the earth that you would dig up, and that's where the oil was. Like a meteor hit the planet and melted up the dinosaurs, and that's like the oil and where that is. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
But I guess you're right looking at it. But here's the thing, it's so ugly that I never really give it much of a thought.
Oh man. So yes, not a big fan of the Oilers. The Winnipeg Jets said we're going to try to look like the Tampa Bay Lightning's normal uniforms. I mean, like you look at the color combinations and it's just got a Winnipeg Jets in the middle. I mean, like I'm not a huge fan of the Winnipeg Jets jersey.
No, me
just
neither.
not them.
Nope.
What do you think about this Tampa Bay Lightning, like the waves with Tampa, and it's kind of like it's got a whole bunch of extra shit on it? What do you think about that?
Okay. It's okay for a third jersey. It's okay.
Okay. The Toronto Maple Leafs. I mean, like
what's the difference?
I don't see what the difference is. That would be like what I would have expected from the Islanders department, just like the same exact, but like maybe a different color blue.
Yeah.
I do like the Ducks.
Yep.
Doing a throwback to the Mighty Ducks. I like that.
I like it as well.
I'm a fan of the Buffalo Sabres. I like when they brought back they called it like the gerbil or whatever they called it. I like that Sabre originals. I like the original.
It looks to me like a Soul Train Buffalo.
Okay.
If you ever seen Soul Train, I know you haven't. They had like the funky train, boop, boop, doo, like it was like whole humped up and just drive, doo, doo, doo. You know, it was kind of cool. I don't know if you could pull that up, Soul Train, but if a Buffalo was on Soul Train, that's what he would look like.
What am I looking for when I pull up Soul Train? Because that is pretty
Soul Train intro. That's all you need.
Looking for me to pull up the okay.
Yeah, they used to have like a little train like on the track, and the train was like funky, you know. It was like
so I'm looking for a train.
Yeah, it's like a train. Yeah, the Soul Train. Yeah, Soul Train.
That's going to be redundant, but Soul Train.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh, give me a second. Hold on.
Maybe you get to see it. Yeah.
Oops. Give me a sec here.
But yeah, Buffalo. That's like their jersey from the early 2000s. I think that's what it was when they lost the Stanley Cup.
Yes, with Dominic Hasek in net.
Yeah, yeah.
Who doesn't love good old Dominic Hasek? This is what we're talking about here, Grumpy. The Soul Train. Sorry.
Yeah, it's kind of funky. It's a little funky train with the little smoke is like all kind of funky. Make a Buffalo do that. That's kind of what it would look like.
Okay. The Soul Train Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, let me get back to this.
It's not something we haven't seen before.
Yeah, I like the Buffalo. I like the Buffalo Sabres jerseys. Okay, let me ask you this. I'm doing a would I buy or would I not? I would buy the Florida Panthers.
No,
would you buy the Montreal Canadiens jersey?
Yes.
Okay, I would probably say no on that one.
I'm a discerning buyer also. It's not like I'm going to buy 32 jerseys.
Okay, gotcha. I'm buying the Panthers. I'm not buying the Montreal. I assume you would not buy Detroit?
Nope.
We're not buying the Flames. Are you going to buy the Oilers, Grumpy? That gear and the oil in the middle?
Considering I didn't even know it was a gear. I thought it was like some type of,
a meteor.
Yeah,
a meteor flying. I don't know how the hell you got a meteor.
Because you know what? It's so hideous.
Flying the dinosaurs all at once.
I disliked it so much that I never even really looked at it in depth. Because they've had those before. I'm like, man, that's hideous. What the hell is it? I don't even care. Move on.
Are you buying the Winnipeg Jets, Grumpy?
No.
Okay. How about the Tampa Bay Lightning?
No.
Yeah, I'm agreeing. No. Toronto Maple Leafs, that's a no for me.
No.
The Ducks,
yes.
Maybe. Sure, the Ducks. The Sabres, sure. I buy the Sabres.
No. I'm like I said, I'm not going to buy everything. There's only 2 so far that I'm buying. So
okay, I'd buy the Sabres. How about this the Boston Bruins, Grumpy?
No, I don't. They've done that before with the Bear. And actually, I kind of like the sleeves and the base of the jersey better than they have in the past. It's definitely different, but I wouldn't buy it. But that doesn't mean I hate it.
I was about to say, I wouldn't buy this, but if somebody gave it to me for free, I'd wear it.
Yeah, me too.
You could not get me to wear the Edmonton Oilers for free. I would have been like, thank you so much, but you better donate this to Goodwill or your local freaking hockey, your local ice rink.
I would wear it, and people would start asking me questions like, what the hell is that thing? Is that like a nuclear bomb or something? What's going on? Okay.
How about the Nashville Predators? I kind of like that jersey. I like the Nashville Predators jersey.
The teeth are too big. So
I like the big teeth. I would, here's the thing. I would wear that Nashville Predators jersey. Would I buy it? I'm not so sure.
I just think the teeth are too big.
I think the Predator looks a little too cartoonish for me.
Maybe he's a Soul Train Predator.
Okay. How about the St. Louis Blues, Grumpy?
I probably would buy it because I like their colors, but it's a little funky.
It's a little too jazzy for you,
a little
Grumpy.
too jazzy, a little bit. It's just, I mean, but I put that as so far that that'd be one I would consider. Yes.
Okay.
No.
How about the Coyotes, Grumpy? The Arizona Coyotes.
No.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't buy this jersey, but if somebody gave me it for free, I'd wear it.
The orange is growing on me, but I hate the logo. I'm a logo guy. I'm a logo guy.
Orange looks like? You know what the orange looks like? It looks like a burnt orange. It looks a little bit like the Flyers orange, Grumpy.
So that's an automatic no for me. Yeah.
Okay. How about the Minnesota Wild, which have the same exact color scheme as the old Minnesota North Stars?
Absolutely. I love that. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you would buy that then?
Yes, I would.
How about
no?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's not terrible. I'd wear it. How about the Dallas Stars? I think missed huge on this. This is not a good jersey.
Their name you can't even create a character when your name is the Stars. You're limited.
I wish. Okay, you could do a few things. Do it like a galaxy. You remember the Tottenham Hotspur's third kit last year was like a galaxy. It was all like it was like the Milky Way all over. Do you remember that jersey?
No, I do not. But I don't like the Stars jersey. They're a hard no for me. Just too boring. But then I want to get to the next one.
Can you give me a second as I'm pulling up that third jersey?
Okay, all right. You asked me to, kind of do something to bail you out. I'm trying to do that right now.
Okay, this is when I'm thinking of how this could work. And man, I like this type of this is the type of jersey, or I think maybe the Dallas Stars could have gone with some sort of item like this. Like it's like, hey, look at that jersey. It's all over the place.
Oh, that's for a hockey jersey. That's way too freaking. What, a tie-dye jersey?
Almost, yeah. Except they could have done something like it was the Milky Way. They should have done. I think it could have been the stars and other stars up in the astrology.
The Big Dipper, the Little Dipper,
yes, something like
Orion's
that.
Belt.
Yes.
Name the constellation stars. Yeah, that sounds a good idea.
It doesn't have to be as much like exactly like this, but I'm just saying instead of all of this, it could have been the solar system, or it could have been
like what happens when you throw up on a Saturday night after a long night of drinking, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it looks like, Grumpy. You got some blue in there from all those from all the little mixed drinks you drink. The red is all that stomach, all of your stomach acid just being thrown up. And
I thought a blue whale, Alabama Slammers, that's the type that would give you the colors. The little purple is the mixture of the two. Yeah, there you go.
So I would have been down for that. If the Stars would have done it, I think that would have embraced this, what I think of the Stars a little more.
But the Stars for me, no. Hard pass.
Yes, that's a hard pass for me as well, Grumpy. Now tell me a little bit about the Vancouver Canuck.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't like the colors on Johnny Canuck. It's too dark. It needed to be more light. I would have liked Johnny Canuck with the white, the blue, and maybe the green, and Johnny Canuck on it.
That's the issue that I have with some of these jerseys. They want to have it color, right? Color. But some logos lend themselves more to a white background.
Correct. And that's
we're going to come up with another team that has the same issue, but I like that jersey. Yes, I would get that because I like Johnny Canuck. Yes.
Would you have liked it better if it was white instead of black on the background?
Yes, I would. Okay,
so here we go. That is why I cannot buy the jersey, because it's so close, but they screwed it up.
I don't think it's black background. I think it's that dark, that navy blue color.
Ugly, disgusting, putrid. Bleh. That's
that jersey will sell.
Ugh. I've got a better looking Johnny Canuck jersey where it's the actual white and the blue on it. That would be a better design. They should have used it. Same design, better color scheme. Seattle Kraken, I actually like this.
No. That's
hold on. Are you thinking maybe yes, Grumpy, on that one, or 100% no?
Suck. Terrible.
Oh man. Well, let's look at this. The Sharks, the San Jose Sharks, decided we're going to be just like the freaking Chargers.
No, it's for the California Golden Seals.
Okay. It
That's what.
looks just like the Chargers do.
And here's the thing: if they would have had seals written on it, I would have got it. As I love the seals back in the day. I love their color scheme. Charles O. Finley used to own them. They had the white skates.
And
I'm
the
like,
skates are super heavy because all the white
yeah,
paint on them.
yeah. I'm like, hell yeah. But just says Sharks, so probably a no on that.
What about the Hurricanes?
No, 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 no,
I'm not a
no.
big fan of the Hurricanes.
Don't
Okay. What in the hell
no.
is this? I'm sorry. What is this? I can't even tell you when I'm looking at this what jersey this
That's
is.
Colorado. I think that's like the emblem for the Colorado state flag.
It looks exactly like the Chicago Cubs.
It's like
Does it not look like the Chicago Cubs when they have their little retro jersey or their little retro uniform?
I want to say the Colorado Rockies back in the day had a jersey like that. That's what I want to say on that. I mean, I don't. Here's the thing: it's a hard no for me on that as well. But I think that's why they did it. Is for the Colorado Rockies, who were disbanded many
Yikes.
years ago.
Yeah, not a big fan. How about this one? The good old Chicago Blackhawks. Doesn't that look so great,
Nope.
Grumpy?
Nope. Anything where you're just putting words on there, that's a no.
It's both Chicago and Detroit decided, yeah, we're going to choose a very similar, disgustingly bland uniform where it's just like, oh, fantastic. Red and black with just lines on it with the name of this, with the name of the, with the name thereof, with the name of where we're located.
Just in case you forget what city you're in, that helps you out. Where
Yikes.
are you? Detroit. Chicago.
How about the freak? I like the Capitals, man. I wish it would have been a white on the out. I wish it would have been white. I noticed a lot of these jerseys are really freaking dark colors. There's not a lot of whites to them for whatever reason.
Yeah,
but I like the Washington Capitals. Just wish it was a white background.
The whites pop the logos better.
Correct. It's tougher to distinguish. When I look at the Capitol, when I look at this eagle, I'm like, where do the lines end? Okay, I have to really focus on it hard. The white just makes it where it's just like the logo just goes. It's right. It's exactly. It pops, Grumpy.
Yeah. So I'm going to say I would not buy that. So no.
If it was white on the background, I for certain would buy it. How about the Rangers? I like the Rangers uniform. I like this. I like the retro right here, but I wouldn't buy.
Lady Liberty, no.
How about the Columbus Blue Jackets?
You remember the Goldilocks? What the hell is his name? The guy who was, you remember the guy who got arrested, the Islander fan?
Yes.
He used to sing a little song when the Rangers came in to Nassau Coliseum wearing those uniforms, and he thought it was, I don't know what he was trying to get to happen, but it didn't work. But he was going on and on singing a song about, the ladies or something like that. I can't even remember. So it was a long time ago.
Okay.
But no. Blue Jackets, no. I hate everything about any combination of anything they put in there is a no for me. Hard no.
I like that blue on the outside, though.
The logo sucks. It's the same logo they've always had.
Yes. It is the same logo, but I'm not a fan of that dark, like navy blue. How about the Ottawa Senators?
No.
I was about to say they didn't do much different. Nope. I do like the Senators logo, but I'm like, there's nothing different besides, we changed the way the color scheme looks a bit. That's it. I'm like, come on, you gotta get more creative than that. Vegas, no.
Nope.
Just Vegas written in a freaking diagonal way. That's it. The Pittsburgh Penguins, this is like a legitimate throwback to the old Penguins jerseys.
Yeah, in the 90s. No for me, though. I like the original skating Penguin. I like the original skating Penguin from when they first started with the baby blue. I thought that looked sharp.
How about the Flyers?
Hell no. No.
What'd you do if somebody gave you that Flyers retro jersey? They said, Grumpy, I know you're a huge fan. I want you to have this jersey. What are you saying?
I take it. I take anything for free.
I didn't know if you were going to burn it.
No, I wouldn't burn it. That's just kind of dumb.
This, I think, is the best retro jersey released. Yes. The freaking Kings are, bar none, the best retro. I will buy one of those Kings jerseys, even though I'm not a Kings fan. That is how you win. Ding, 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 ding. The Retro Jersey Award. This Kings jersey is fire, Grumpy. It is fantastic. Look at the color combination. It is amazing.
Yes, I agree. I love that jersey.
The New Jersey Devils look a little bit like the Florida Panthers color scheme, but just with the Devils logo in the middle.
No for that. No, hard no.
What do you think about the Islanders?
Okay. If the Islanders would have had first of all, why Of all the jerseys, they're the only team that has a crooked freaking like the line on the bottom. It's crooked. Why? Could you not have it straight across? Why is it
Real
angled?
quickly, let's look. Yeah, I don't see that. I mean, I guess the Coyotes, but they
Okay,
have like
they don't have lines. They don't have lines. They got it. That's a design.
Capitals, maybe, but I guess the design looks like a little check mark.
And it says capitals in it. Everything else is straight.
Okay, no. The Ducks. The Ducks have a crooked one. The Ducks are the only one that have the crooked
You
lines.
see how it's solid color though. It's a solid color. It's not just straight
It's
lines.
not just a line, yeah.
Yeah, that's just a line. It's like, no. Now, here's the thing. I would have been cool with the dark blue shoulders and a white base in the middle.
A white base in the middle and not this stupid, awful. All they did was take the logo and they said invert. That's all it was. They just inverted the logo and it looks like trash. They missed big with this one. All they needed was the blue shoulders, the white in the middle. Allow your logo to pop. It's like so many of these teams. Did the NHL have to work in collaboration with them, or they just say NHL teams run wild? Because if the NHL teams ran wild, it's like they do not understand that these jerseys, you have to have them pop. It's not like we even have a 50-50 ratio between whites where the logo can pop and jerseys with dark, like the road jerseys. Like, what the hell?
When you have a really dark jersey, your logo's not going to pop. I mean, if you look at the Minnesota Wild jersey, that's okay. Even though it's solid color and it's green and green, the green is a bright, vibrant color for your body.
And you can see it. You can see it.
Yes, so you can see the logo. Even Colorado, yes. St. Louis, yes. Predators, yes. Just move past that Seattle one. Just move on past. But for the Islanders,
you can see the Seattle logo. I think you can see that well.
It's terrible though. But here's the thing. They were talking about it, Weeks and whoever, the little fella who was calling the game with him today, they were talking about the new Islander jersey. And it reminded me when Bill Clement said how great the jersey was so many years ago in 1995 when it first came out. They almost said the same words. Oh, what a great uni. And kudos to this guy for coming up with these designs. It looks fantastic. I'm like, gosh, I heard that before. And like I said, they could have made this so much better. Much better.
I think the fans who hate the Fisherman jersey have to be happy. And here's the reason why. The Islanders did anything they could to fuck this jersey up beyond all belief to make it to where fans in the future will not want a Fisherman jersey because of how ugly this abomination of a jersey is. The freaking colors and the inverse colors of this are just awful. It's grotesque.
White. It should have been white, the white body. It would have made everything pop. And I mean, even if you wanted to make the jersey in the middle orange, I would have been cool with that. It would have popped. Navy blue with the majority of the logo being navy blue is not a good look. And then you have the navy blue shoulders. There's like no contrast. And then you got the crooked ass stripe across the bottom. It's a half-ass stripe job. I'm like, who did this? Some 2-year-old? Stop. But I still like the logo.
I'm going to pull up. So there were a few logos that were thrown around as, possibilities, grumpy old man, that could have worked for them, because now this is what I think. And again, I know, hey, we watch the Islanders, so we're going to talk a little bit more about them than others. But you look at these Islanders concepts, Grumpy. How does this not work? That would have been fine.
Again, the body. I had no problem with the weight.
Better than what we saw before. I'm just showing you options. I would have been happy with this.
Yes, same here.
I would have been happy. A little less happy, but I would have been more happy with this. This would have been the happiest you could have made anybody. This is fucking perfect.
Yep.
Free. Here you go, retro. Free reverse retro. Free idea for you. How the hell could we not have said, let's take a look into this one?
With the lighthouse on the two shoulders. That looks, now see, I like that. And I would have maybe made it a little bit deeper color for the logo.
I would have too. But I'm just saying as an idea.
That's a jersey I would have bought. Absolutely, I would have bought that jersey.
It looks so it looks so clean and it looks so fresh. I would buy, just like I'm buying the Kings jersey, I would have bought this one in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even boom. I would have bought it the day of release.
Yeah, I like that. Even though I'm not a fan of the wavy stuff, I still like it. The other one just looks terrible the way they did it. Now I don't know who came up with that, but that's sharp. That's sharp. That's a
Christopher
jersey
Kern
that would
came up with
sell.
that design.
That's a jersey that would sell like crazy.
Yeah. Christopher Kern came up with that design. It's fantastic. Man, oh man. Any way we could mess this up. And so many teams did. Why did they not go for more of a, you have to have, if you're going to have a retro that is different than the current emblem you have, you want that jersey to pop.
Yep.
You want white on the background. You want it to be easily distinguished. You're like, oh yeah, I got that. If it's just, oh yeah, it's just another muddled jersey. Ugh.
It's the whole thing. I think it's the retro thing. So it's something that you had to have in your past. I think that's what the whole thing was, kind of a play of something you've had previously. But we missed the boat on it. Islanders missed the boat on it.
It's easier to see the Islanders' normal logo on their blue than it is on the dark blue with the freaking inverse picture of the fisherman. It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah.
How do you screw the pooch on something so simple? Sorry. I know we took a long time on that, like 20 minutes talking about the reverse retros, but some of them were really nice. Some of them, not so much, Grumpy. Joseph C says, oh, send it to you. Driel said, TJ, why did you snort like a pig? Because I must have wanted to be like snorting like a pig, Drew. I must have been like, that's probably what I did.
I didn't realize you snorted like a pig.
I did it. What can I say? I'm talented like that. Okay. Joseph C said, I wanted to gloat a bit, but my Rangers are tied in overtime with the winless Sharks, and they lose to the winless Sharks. Drew L said, if we're talking about sports debuts from Banchero and Jaden Ivey yesterday, were nothing short of spectacular.
Yeah, Banchero had a great game. But here's the thing. He's a kid, and I told you, I liked him. I don't know if he has enough of a killer instinct, but you can develop that a little bit as you get older.
A little bit.
6'10" and plays like a point guard. Can really move. He's good. He's really good. He said that his time at Duke last year, he felt like a zoo animal with all the attention that he was getting.
What?
Yes. He said he felt like he was an animal in a zoo, like an attraction in a zoo animal.
A good way or a bad way?
Well, I think he didn't like being under the microscope like that. Like everyone was always looking at, I don't know, whatever.
Here's the thing. Our coaches used to always tell us, no matter what, get used to it there, buddy, Banchero, because now that you're in the NFL, it's going to be like that everywhere you go.
Oh, he's playing in the NBA.
I'm sorry. Now that you're in the NBA, it's going to be like that everywhere you go. They always used to say, you're like a goldfish and you're in a fishbowl. Everything is magnified of what you do on campus. Everybody knows about what he's the football player. He's this. And guess what, buddy? That's going to be anywhere you go as a professional athlete. Get used to that. Drew L said, F. Wallstrom is in pain. Oof.
Uh-oh.
Joseph C says Ohtani was critical of the Angels in a recent interview. I pray the Mets trade for him, although I can't imagine what the cost would be. That they are just going to give up. They're just going to get him for money next offseason.
Or they can just get him for money next year.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I'd make a trade for him. Is he even on the market? He signed a 1-year contract. He's already signed it for $30 million with the Angels. I'm not giving up a whole lot for a guy who's going into his walk year.
Got a comment here from Drew L saying, you know who I feel bad for? Emoni Bates. Dude at 13 was hyped up to be the next Kevin Durant and is now in jail. It's so sad. His dad also exploited him for profit. New age basketball media sucks. Let's talk about Emoni Bates because I had him on the docket for today, Grumpy. I'm not sure if you're aware, but his charge got dropped from a felony to a misdemeanor after they worked out a plea.
It helps when you're a famous person. Those
Correct.
Tend to get. He had 2 felonies against him for gun charges, and he got plead down to a misdemeanor. And then somebody wrote a nice little statement for him to put out on Twitter.
Yes. Well, I mean, he's a guy who just like a lot of these young high school basketball recruits, it's really tough to determine how talented they are. He was a guy when he went to Memphis, he was like a top 5, top 10 recruit in the nation. 5-star by every single metric. He was going to help put him and a few others went to Memphis. Oh yeah, they're going to be fantastic. Didn't have a great time there. He transferred to Eastern Michigan.
Here's the thing. Step back. Here's the thing I like. Bates is cleared to return to practice and is in the process of being cleared to return to campus classes, sources told ESPN. Why are you even putting that in there? He's going to be done after this year. He's not going to stay at Eastern Michigan.
Correct.
He's not going to go to class. I mean, please stop even putting up the facade that these basketball players who are like one and dones or whatever, that, they're going to class, because they're not.
So they said, the lawyer said they negotiated a plea deal with the county prosecution office in exchange for the dismissal of all felony charges. Bates is expected to plead to 1 misdemeanor count of attempted illegal transportation of weapon. It will be entirely dismissed upon completion of a misdemeanor diversion program. Wasn't that great? He can break the law and just get that expunged. No issue. Doesn't have anything on the criminal record. That's pretty nice.
That's a pretty good deal.
Yep.
Hopefully he learns from it.
Isn't that nice? And again, there's a reason we didn't talk about that. They said Bates was arrested on September 18th and charged for carrying a concealed weapon and altering ID marks on a firearm.
That's honestly, that one bothers me. The second one.
Because, right, it's an unmarked, right? If you go ahead and it doesn't know what happened. If, the guns that's marked to you, well, it's tough to determine who it is if you go ahead and alter the marks on it. It's against the law. So if you or I were marking and trying to change up, the marks on the weapon there, Grumpy, and saying, okay, I'm going to go.
We're going away.
I'm receiving some sort of time, and I'll say, see you guys later. The podcast, time to bring Sun X on, because I'm going to be making a little stay.
Going on vacation. That's what the mafia members
used to go to overnight camp.
Going for a little vacation.
Absolutely. There it is. So, I don't know. Came out of routine.
You know what? Here's the thing. You don't need a gun.
He was driving a borrowed car, and it wasn't his gun.
Oh, yeah.
So,
okay.
I don't know. So we'll see. Who knows? Okay. They went wrong with it. But I'm going to tell you one thing. It's nice when you're talented and you're a talented player. It doesn't matter what sports you are. If you're an athlete, we talk about athletes can get away with absolutely anything they want for the most part. And because they're good at playing sports, they get away with things. It's all about the color green. Do you think Eastern Michigan, they said, oh, shit, we got a fantastic basketball player here. We need to do anything we can to keep him eligible to play. It's like the same thing. Pittsburgh had one with Dior Johnson. He apparently, and again, I haven't checked in on to see how things have developed, but he apparently beat a lady and then wouldn't let her leave. And he hasn't been kicked off the team. They've just suspended him indefinitely as they wait he's supposed to be their top recruit, fantastic player. They want to do anything they can as an organization to make sure that kid can play. True. And that's how it is. I mean, all these teams are the same way.
Yep.
And Eastern Michigan said, this is the best player we've ever brought here to Eastern Michigan. We need to make sure we do anything we can that this kid can play this season. And
that's just the way it is in college athletics.
And all athletics.
Yeah. Well, particularly in college.
NFL, especially college too, because you have such a finite time with them. But yes, Emoni Bates, I'm happy he, I guess, if this was true, the story he says is true, good for him. You don't want to see a miscarriage of justice, but I don't know. I don't know if they look at Grumpy or myself with the same leniency as two everyday Joes to say, you've got a gun, you got a possession of a firearm, and who knows? Yeah. James F said, yep, Sharks get their first win. They best the Rangers in overtime. Drew L says, you know who I think the G-men should trade for? Isaiah Simmons. I feel like he hasn't been used properly in Arizona. The issue with Isaiah Simmons is he's a tweener. He doesn't have a position. He's too skinny to play a linebacker, and he's too freaking big and clunky to play a safety. He's just not – he's a guy who is a really, really good, versatile college player, but in the NFL just doesn't have a specific designation.
It's tough. You need a coach who's going to just freelance a guy, which is what he is. He's a freelancer. And what makes you think Arizona is looking to trade him? They're not looking to trade him
because they're going to be maybe 3-4 if they beat the Saints tonight. Maybe that's why.
I wonder if you're going to see a lot of trades in the NFL. Usually never do. This
Well,
could be the year, though.
Let's talk about that. You say, I'm not sure how many trades you're going to see. Elijah Moore, Grumpy, wide receiver for the Jets, the 2021 second round pick, apparently wants out of New York.
Unhappy with his targets.
Well,
I mean, it's only his second year. Last year, he had a good rapport with Zach Wilson. Wilson's only been back 2 weeks, and I think they're running the ball more because they have a legitimate running back now. And I think Moore is just a little bit aggravated that he's not getting a whole lot of targets.
6 games into the season, he has 16 catches.
Not good enough.
I was about to say the last 2 games against the Steelers and the Dolphins, right? Both games which the Jets won. They won against the Steelers, right? Yeah, they won against the Steelers and the Dolphins.
Yes.
I'm thinking that. Yeah. He had 3 receptions against the Steelers, 1 reception against the Dolphins.
Yes.
So, if you're trying to go ahead and to differentiate yourself and to get yourself a big contract, it's really tough to do so when you're not getting the ball. And here's the thing. Garrett Wilson was drafted. Garrett Wilson's a better wideout. He's going to receive the line shares of the target, my friends.
Garrett Wilson's not catching a whole lot of passes from Zach Wilson either.
And he had 0 catches against the Green Bay. I'm sorry. So they won the last 3 weeks. I'm sorry. Pittsburgh, 3 receptions, 4 targets. Miami, 1 reception, 4 targets. And then against Green Bay, 0 receptions, 0 targets. Wow.
So this is for Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore, correct.
Yeah.
He played 58% of the snaps. Oh, wow, too. Look at that. The snap percentages has dropped the last 2 weeks. So he had been playing 89 to 90% the first 4 weeks of the season, 89 to 90% of the snaps. And then he dropped down to 66% of the snaps against Miami and then 58% of the snaps against Green Bay. And he had 0 targets and 0 receptions. Hey, so all it takes is 2 weeks of your share of snaps and targets to drop, and you say, I want out. I'm done. I'm gone. Trade me.
I feel confident in saying that the trajectory is downward at this point for Elijah Moore.
I believe so. Right? He's not what he's not what people originally had expected. But you talk another.
He was good last year for them.
Wide receivers are a dime a dozen sometimes. You could find really talented. You could find a good wideout. The elite level wideouts you can't find, but you can find a serviceable wideout all over the place. Same thing with running backs. You can find a serviceable running back anywhere. But apparently, again, the Packers are all in on current Steelers wide receiver Chase Claypool and will attempt to trade for him before the NFL deadline.
That piece of
tell me that doesn't fit what the Packers need to do.
That piece of trash cost me money. And last week in fantasy, he cost me money.
You don't like Chase Claypool?
He's been a piece of damn garbage all year. He goes off last week. Ugh.
So there may be a few trades yet, but usually there aren't that many. You're right.
Christian McCaffrey's a hot name to get moved.
He's going to get moved.
What about Buffalo? If you're Buffalo, would you not make that trade?
Could you imagine Well, here's the thing. Christian McCaffrey's fantasy points are probably going to go down. But Buffalo is going to be a much better, more well-rounded and talented team with a legitimate running back. But Buffalo doesn't have the guy. And let me ask you this, even if you're the Chiefs, you can see that, right? Do you really think that highly of Clyde Edwards-Helaire? I know he puts up some fantasy points, but he's no Christian McCaffrey. Both the Chiefs and the freaking Bills are a running back away. And I think the Bills are more running back away from being the team. But the Chiefs, I think that the weapons they've got, could you imagine adding a guy like Christian McCaffrey in the mix too? Same thing with the Bills.
Yeah, for me, if I'm the Bills, I'm all in this year.
I was about to say, I think it works better for the Bills because you don't have to utilize Josh Allen to run the ball as much when you have a legitimate and competent running back. You got a guy who could run through tackles, and you're not going to have to use and abuse Christian McCaffrey like the Carolina Panthers did. But that contract is huge. I haven't looked at how much of that money was signing bonus, how much they're actually going to be on the hook for, and what the dead cap is going to be, because that contract that the Panthers gave him was astronomical.
And if you're the Panthers, you have to look to move him. You're in full rebuild. You're in full rebuild.
Yes.
I
So
mean,
I agree. Mario says, I love the new fisherman jersey. I just don't like the colors.
I don't like the background color. They could have done so much better. It's just disappointing. What could have been?
Drew L said, yes, Andy Dalton indeed did throw 2 pick sixes. Jesus Christ, Andy Dalton. Yikes.
Dalton,
Andy
Dalton,
freaking
Dalton.
Dalton. Yeah,
It's
Andy
not,
Dalton.
and that's not Dalton from Roadhouse either.
I'll tell you one thing. It looks like DeAndre Hopkins is going out there without missing a beat. 7 receptions, 68 yards
Ooh,
for
I like
DeAndre
that.
Hopkins.
I like that.
I will tell you, Kyler Murray only 164 yards passing.
I told you everything was going to change for him when Hopkins came back.
164 yards passing is not impressive, Grump.
Okay.
What?
Well, you think he should throw for 400 yards?
300? What's wrong with 300 yards passing?
Who says he can't get 300? What's the game in the third quarter?
It's almost through the third quarter, almost in the
Oh,
fourth.
it's in the third quarter. Okay. Everything picks up, you know.
Oh, that's it. That's it. Sure. There it is. Everything picks up. 88 receptions, 85 yards for DeAndre Hopkins. I'm glad I got him at least on one fantasy team. Drew L says, Coach had died fire. Kingsbury, Nathaniel Hackett, Brandon Staley, Mr. Overrated, Ron Rivera, Pat Shermer, the Broncos offensive coordinator, Todd Bowles, Zach Taylor, and Mike McCarthy. Wow, not a Mike McCarthy. I mean, like, think about what Mike McCarthy's done with what he's got at the quarterback position.
I don't think he's a great head coach. Zach Taylor, he seems like he's turned Cincinnati around now. But everybody else I agree with on that list.
Well, let me tell you about this. I know that, Russell Wilson has struggled this year, to say the least. He's had some injuries. We last year we thought there's no way in hell he could have fallen off the cliff as severely as he did. But these are just a few of these little snapshots where they show little snippets of where open players are, and you look at the reads, and Russell's looking in the wrong freaking directions. A wide open guy there for a little jump off.
He's a
wide open touchdown.
He's a 12-year veteran.
Yeah.
He's a 12-year vet.
Yeah, staring at wide outs, not finding the open guy. I mean, like, yikes. This one here, too. So, I mean, he has not had a good season.
He can't throw the ball. He can't throw the ball. I said it week 1. I'm like, he can't throw the ball anymore. It's obvious to me. His motion has changed. He just can't make throw anymore.
Yeah, gotta feel bad for the guy. Was a fantastic quarterback, but because he fell off planet Earth so quick, that was a guy, if you said something 4 years ago, you'd say he might have a chance to make a Hall of Fame, depending on how these next few years look, because his beginning of his career was meteoric. Fantastic production at the beginning of his career.
He won a
and
Super
then you look
Bowl.
at, was that?
He won a Super Bowl in his 3rd year in the league.
And his numbers, his stats were extremely solid too.
Yeah, solid. That doesn't make you a Hall of Famer.
When you have really solid stats for a long career and you win a few Super Bowls,
He won one. He won one.
You win a Super Bowl and go to a Super Bowl finals another time.
Throw the interception that cost your team the game.
Why the hell did they not run that football? We're not going to go down that rabbit hole. Anyway, Drew. I already said that one. Mario said 3-0 now. Sal P. Look at that shirt, though, bro. Look at the shirt. Sal P said it's 3-0 to the Devils with 4 minutes left. Yikes. John M says, I'm not as optimistic as everyone here the last few days. Same, no offense, old players, and slow forwards.
We could not keep up with the Devils.
We
could not keep up with the Devils.
Yikes. Not good. Oh, John B., the distinguished gentleman, says, hello, gents. Long time no speak. Putrid game by the Islanders tonight. Nice shirt, Grumpy.
Thank you, John.
He's got his Eastern New Mexico University. The Greyhounds, Grumpy.
The Greyhounds.
Drew Ellis said the best retros were the Islanders, the Ducks, Rangers, Capitals, Kings, Wild, and Penguins. I think the Kings were by far the best. Everybody else is second tier when it comes to that. That's for certain. And you're looking here at Stephen S. saying that was ugly. That was an ugly win, but we got our first win nonetheless. Props to the 76ers for making it close. Got the win. On to the next game. No longer are we just Milwaukee or Kilwaukee. Fear the deer. We're Kilwaukee, Grumpy. Fear the deer.
Fear the deer. Okay.
Giannis. Joseph C. says, I pray the Astros and the Padres win. I can't stand a Yankees-Phillies World Series.
Here's the thing: there's no way the Yankees are making the World Series. They don't match up with the Astros. I don't even know. I know they were playing tonight. I don't know what the score is. Maybe I'm full of crap. Maybe the Yankees won today. I don't know. I watched a little bit of yesterday's game. They struck out 17 times.
Oof.
17 times. What all year I've been saying, what's the problem with the Yankees lineup? It's home run or nothing. And you listen to these announcers, they feel like they have to talk the analytics. Well, the game is definitely home runs are the most important thing. Sometimes you have to be able to put guys on base, but home runs, that's it. No, it's not. When you get into the playoffs playing really good pitching, you have to be able to play small ball. It's not all about home runs. And I drives me crazy. You got a guy on first and second with nobody out, and you got a guy swinging for the fences, falling down, as opposed to just putting the ball in play. Get a run. Get on the board. Let your pitching do its job. Ugh.
Mm. Oh, wow. You're not kidding there. Oof. I was just reading more of that Emoni Bates. I read the next line. According to the police report obtained by ESPN, deputies observed a black Mitsubishi Outlander run a stop sign and initiated a traffic stop. The report says Bates stated that there's marijuana and handgun in the vehicle. In the ensuing search of the vehicle uncovered a gun under the driver's seat. The serial number of the barrel of the gun had been removed, according to the report. Hold on. How did he know if he was driving a friend's car that there was marijuana and a gun?
It's because he was full of shit.
Under the driver's seat.
It's because he was full of shit. That's
wow,
why.
Man. If he's the only person in that car, holy shit, he's just got some telekinetic power. Maybe his buddy said, as you're driving, there's going to be marijuana in the gun. I don't need to worry about removing that.
Actually, I think what he did was, as anyone knows, when you borrow a car, you do an extensive search. You look over the car to make sure that it's safe to drive, and he noticed these couple of things.
Correct.
And that's what happened. And
that's why he ran the stop sign, because he looked at it and said, holy shit, there's a gun down there. And he ran the stop sign by accident. And that's what it all transpired from there. But hey, Eastern Michigan will do anything they can, just like any team. Here's the thing. If I was an Eastern Michigan fan, I said, do anything you can to get that guy on the court. I'd be wanting that team to be good too. Anyway, Gungun says, Grumpy, I challenge you to explain to TJ who Peter Puck was.
Do you know who Peter Puck was, TJ?
No, I assume a cartoon or something.
He was a cartoon puck, and he would tell you the rules of the NHL in between periods. I think when CBS was doing the games years and years and years ago, like in the early
1973.
70s. There you go, in the early 70s. Yep. Peter Puck.
Peter Puck. Oh,
and he would skate. He was a little puck, but he would skate around, and he would give you the, tell you what was going on with the game, offsides, icing, stuff like that. Peter Puck. In between periods.
Bringing the NHL to the everyday individual and the everyday Joe, the everyday American, Grumpy.
And I'll tell you what, it was so good that people still remember it. This is how you sell a sport. You get some cute little puck like Peter Puck here that people remember 50 years later, Peter Puck.
How long was Peter Puck in action for?
I don't know, but I remember him. Absolutely. When CBS was doing games in the early 70s, they were the national, broadcast channel then. And Peter Puck, I was like, oh, man, look at this. This guy, and I was, younger. And I'm like, man, Peter Puck is cool as shit. Little Puck.
Peter freaking Puck.
Peter Puck.
And we got here another comment from Stephen S. saying, well, I'm split on the second wave of the reverse retros. There's some good ones, and I feel like the first wave was better. And if I'm being honest, my favorite team this year has to be Pittsburgh. That one is clean. I'm a big Kings guy. James F says, I think the Sharks got the best retro jersey. I'm not sure. I didn't see it there. I'm like, yeah, the Sharks. That was the one, Grumpy, with the golden seals.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, everything appeals to, different people.
Joseph C. said the Islanders reverse retros are reportedly out of stock on the Adidas website already.
It's probably because they only made about 15.
Oh, gosh. Not prepared. My only complaint about the retros is no buff a slug. Oh, it's no.
I like the Soul Train. The Soul Train Buffalo, I think that's better.
The Sharks and the Kings have the best third retro jerseys. I agree. The Kings looking good. Okay, the Islanders scored a late goal. And guess who scored the goal, Grumpy?
Who, Bailey?
No, one of the other favorites. Scored a
Lee.
meaningless goal. Lee. Anders Lee scored another meaningless goal at the end.
Typical. That's an Anders Lee special. Game's over. He scores a goal. Down
Steve
8-1. He gets 3 goals. Hey, he had a hat trick. You got
him
run
and
out.
Croc. Him and Croc. Stephen S. says, TJ, I'm going to be real with you as a Predators fan. That reverse retro isn't great. I do like the new primary color, though, and that mustard color they had. Also, Nashville's text looks glued on. Oof. Man, I tell you, that's maybe why we're so critical is because I'm an Islander fan. I'm like, damn it, I know what this could be. And as a Nashville fan, you're going to be critical of it and say, I know what this Nashville jersey could be. But for me, just like, that looks pretty decent. So, yeah, Drew said, I forgot the Kraken one too. Joseph C said, I wanted the Rangers to be more original with their new retro jerseys, with their new reverse retro. It's essentially the same as last year, which I have, with their traditional colors instead. See, so I know the fans of their teams. I guess that makes sense. The fans of your team are going to be more critical of your jersey because you know what it could be. And maybe people who aren't say, oh, yeah, I'll buy this random jersey because it looks kind of cool. And honestly, the Johnny Canuck one looks more like the Boston Celtic logo, if anything.
I disagree.
John M. say, a Canuck is a mad French Canadian. That's why they went that way. Crazy Canadian on a jersey.
It's a slang term for Canadian, a Canuck.
Mm-hmm. Joseph C. says, take a closer look at those Lightning jerseys. They have lightning on the sleeves and waves at the bottom. So ugly.
Yeah, it's more like something for kids. Looks like a kid's jersey.
I didn't know. Yeah. I tell you, it was an odd one. The waves. Yeah. It's a little congested, in my opinion. Drew L says, the one thing that makes me excited about the reverse retro jerseys is that I can finally make the official Islanders fisherman jersey in NHL 2023, Grumpy. Stephen S says, somebody over at TSN brought this up, but the Florida Panthers reverse retro jersey looks like the Minnesota Waves jersey in the second Mighty Ducks movie. This is the one that Gordon Bombay wore at the beginning.
Gordon Bombay from the Mighty Ducks. I remember his coach. The guy was still coaching Pee Wee hockey. And he ripped the kid, called him a loser when he didn't score that goal in overtime. And it's followed him his whole life. And he never forgot it. The coach rubbed it up his ass when he was finally coaching the Ducks. Jeez, what a loser.
I'm going to tell you one thing. My God, it's Child's Athletics. Take a freaking break, buddy. But here's that one. It does. The blue looks a little like that. The Minnesota Waves, Grumpy. It's a good spot, Steve.
That sucks.
And the Blackhawk jersey looks like your grandfather's old sweater.
True.
Yeah, not good. Jill said, what can I say? The Kings are true kings. I like that. The true kings. Stephen S. says, from my understanding, the Vegas text on the reverse retro 2.0 jersey is inspired by the text/sign from the Excalibur Hotel in casino where they have it on the Vegas Strip. Ugh.
I don't like it.
Neither am I. Not a fan. Drew L said, I think if the fans speak up, they will change the jersey back to the original fisherman.
I like the white. Like I said, the logo is great. Just
that white concept was spectacular.
How
How could you not? Don't get me started. I'm thinking of what could have been. What could have been? Stephen S. says, I don't necessarily hate the fisherman reverse retro jersey. The problem I have with is the striping. I don't understand why the single stripe instead of a wave striping. Yes.
Right. It makes no sense.
TJ, can you pull up Gleyber Torres's play? Hit by Altuve, who is 0 for 22. What? Gleyber Torres hit by Altuve, who's 0 for 20. Are you saying Gleyber Torres is 0 for 22? Here's the thing. I'm very skeptical to pull up. Holy shit. Holy shit. Cristiano Ronaldo got released.
Wow. He wanted that.
Holy
he wanted
shit.
that. He wanted that. Good for him.
Things have been bad releasing Cristiano Ronaldo from the option. Wow, appears to be now the okay. Here's the thing. This, you know how the okay. I got to take everything with a grain of salt because you know how these European sports reports are because it's all bullshit. I'm sorry, they're considering releasing him. They're considering releasing him.
He will not. He will not play for them again.
Correct.
He will not play for them.
He'll be released by the weekend.
They should have let him go. They should have let him go in the summer when he wanted to leave. This is what happened.
Let's get to the. I want to get through the comments real quick. I'm sorry. I just saw that. I was like, holy shit. James, I'm very skeptical to pull anything up with the MLB. We showed like 5 seconds of the last time, and they took our stream down. So I will not be showing any MLB playoff stuff, just because of the way that the algorithm works. I don't want to get the stream taken down. James F said, in the bottom of the 7th, the Islanders jersey looks like Columbus, the Columbus Blue Jackets. Oof. Not good company to keep. And Drew L says that Fisherman jersey is like a mix of the 2000s Islanders jersey with the color scheme of the Fisherman logo.
Yeah, they could have done so much better.
Mario says there is a 4-episode series on YouTube on the NHL jersey concepts. They spend some time on the Islanders Brooklyn jerseys. There were 3. They are 3. They passed on, and all of them were better than what they actually settled on.
Not surprised.
Drew L says Bates came into college at 17 too. I think he just came in too early. His numbers never look good for. I was looking at Memphis. His numbers never look fantastic either. Stephen S said, although I really like the Avalanche reverse retro jersey, I would have preferred that they used their current color scheme over the state flag's color scheme, like the Rockies color scheme. They would have popped out more.
Yeah, I don't like this state flag thing. I just don't like it. It's the old Colorado Rockies. No, it's we already talked about it.
I'm trying to pull this up, Grumpy, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Read some comments for me, please.
Okay. You know what I also learned about this game? The Cardinals need to draft a running back. Connor sucks. I think he's out. He's injured today. And everyone else sucks on the running back depth chart. They've tried that the last couple of years. They do need a running back. Maybe they should look to draft one earlier than the 4th round. James Farrell says, wish the NFL had retro uniforms. No, you don't, because they actually have some of those.
And they're awful.
And they're just terrible. They're like throwbacks like to the 1940s, like what they roll out for Green Bay and the Bears. They look horrible, just terrible. You can't do a whole lot. Remember, you can't do a whole lot with football jerseys. In hockey, you absolutely can, but not in football because it's just a big number. Okay, Joseph C says the next generational prospect out there, Victor Wembanyama, is 7'4", can shoot, handle the rock, and isn't built like a stick at least. Well, we're going to find out soon enough.
So these are the ones I think that Mario was talking about. I'm not a fan.
No, me neither. No.
You got to have something that pops.
Yeah, no.
And James F. said, Yankees struck out 27 times in 2 games. Judge just missed a home run.
Everything's a home run or strikeout. They're not. Here's the thing. Like I said, I don't even know what the score of that game is. I'm sure.
I'm going to tell you, you're going to watch it.
No, I'm not going to watch it.
Okay, the Yankees are down 3-2 in the top of the 9th.
Okay, they lose today, they're done.
I mean,
they don't match up with the Astros. They don't. Astros have pitching. Period. End of sentence. End of story. They can pitch. That's why the Yankees never beat them. I don't think they beat them at all this year. Maybe one game. I mean, not too many. The Astros too good for them.
Drew L says, Wembanyama. I like that name.
It's Wembanyama.
I like that name. Though has already had attitude issues. He practically dissed the number 2 prospect, Scoot Henderson. And the problem is that Scoot Henderson has friends in the NBA. I don't think that matters at all.
I think Scoot is probably his nickname. I think that's a nickname. I don't think
he like the name Scoot.
I do like the name Scoot, though. He must be like a point guard. If you got a name like Scoot, you got to be quick.
A big guy. I was about to say, I need you to be quick. That's right. Quick, jittery, unbelievable. Scoots on the floor. He's scooting all over the place.
You know, if you like a center, like Gigantor, that's a type of name.
Scoot
uh,
Henderson. Hold on. I'm about to pull up what Scoot Henderson looks like.
Scoot Henderson. I'm a guarantee he's a little short fella.
He is a point guard, so there we go. He does
There you
work.
go.
Scoot
Told you.
Henderson
With a
does
name
work
like
for him.
Scoot, sorry. What's his real first name?
6'2".
It's
His
not.
real first name is Scoot Henderson.
Oh my God. His parents had 9 months to name him. The best they come up with is Scoot.
I like the name Scoot Henderson.
No. Okay. No.
Was his name Sterling Henderson? Maybe.
Well, maybe.
It's tough to tell because everything just goes by Scoot, Scoot, Scoot. I'm seeing maybe Sterling Henderson.
Okay. Well, see, that's what it is. Scoot's got to be a nickname.
I like Scoot better. They should have named him Scoot.
It's cool. I mean, you earn a nickname like that.
So, give me a sec. I want to make sure, Grumpy, I'm reading that right here.
Scoot?
I'm seeing Sterling Henderson. I assume that's his name.
Yeah, Sterling Henderson. Scoot's his little nickname. That's right.
I like Scoot. He's 6'4", 195 pounds as a point guard. That son of a gun better be the quickest guy out there. Scoot Henderson. I love it. Got a comment here from Joseph C. saying, oh, I'm sorry. Drew L said, I'm not even watching the Yankee series. I'd be surprised if we win a game. I only be happy with this if Aaron Boone gets shit canned out of his job.
I can't believe he kept his job last year.
Yes.
Last year. He's, here's the thing. It comes to a time when, you know what? This guy just isn't the answer as a coach or a manager or anything like that. Everyone runs their course eventually. He's run his course.
Joseph C. said, I'm amazed the Jets struck out on 2 second-round picks on wide receivers in back-to-back years. That's right. It was a Denzel Mims. I can't remember his first name, but I remember Mims, the wide receiver,
yes,
and Elijah Moore. I'm glad to see the Jets told Moore that they have intentions. They have no intentions of moving him.
Yeah, he's a second-year guy. He doesn't have any options. He's going to be there at least 2 more years. And then, he can be a free agent.
Oof. Drill said the Packers are getting Claypool. LOL. DJ Moore and Odell Beckham Jr. are available and better than Claypool. I don't know, dude. I think Odell Beckham Jr. he's not what he was.
He's just coming off a knee injury. He won't be able to play until maybe December. By then, you're either in the playoffs or you're out for the most part.
Mm-hmm. Drew L said Elijah Moore is better than Claypool. I'm not sure about that. Man, Claypool's getting a lot of hate. I don't think Claypool's fantastic, but he is a very serviceable wide receiver. God bless you, Grumpy. Stephen S. said, oh no, why are we going after Claypool? This is not a smart idea unless he actually performs well. There's one thing we should know. Nothing comes good out of Notre Dame.
Nothing good comes out of Notre Dame.
We're really all in. Apex go ahead, Grumpy. Do you want to respond to that, Claypool?
No.
Apex Legends, Grumpy. Let's read that.
Parise and Palmieri are worthless. True. Parise is the new Uncle Leo. True again. Palmieri is the new lad. Even more true. Thanks, Lou. They both suck. They suck. Again, 38 special. Sorry. Can't hack it. Bavillier played on the first line with Barzell for a while today anyway. And he had 38 special laying in the back like Leo used to do, not being able to keep up. And Palmieri is just a waste. He's an afterthought. Bailey is a bitch. Lee sucks. Ugh.
Drew,
I was happy for a day.
Drew sent us a picture, Grumpy. I'll let you take a look at that.
Welcome back, Hoppins.
Who the hell is Hoppins is right?
Well, maybe they didn't have enough space to put the K on.
I don't know. You got to make sure everything is spelled right.
You would think that you would get that K in there. Maybe just Hopkin.
Do you know what he probably did? He got to the game. He's like, shit, I misspelled this. And what?
Maybe that's the case.
I think maybe they're like, crap, we misspelled Hopkins. Oh my God, no. And now they're looking at it and like, I spent the time, I made it. I got to go ahead and show it. But yikes. Misspelling Hopkins. Yikes. Hoppins. I'm a big DeAndre Hopkins fans. Drew L says, I'm going to tell you, I'm happy the way my Knicks played yesterday. I think we're going to be at least decent this year.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
James F. said, also, Grumpy, you can write to Peter Puck, and he'll answer your letters.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, Peter Puck is cool, man. He's iconic. He's an icon.
Drew L said, I'm just going to drop this right now. Kirill Kaprizov might just win the Art Ross this year. I have him in fantasy, and he hasn't been one game where he hasn't put up at least only 1 point. Hasn't put up only 1 point. Every game he's been at least 2.
He's good. He's good. And they locked him up, man. They locked him up to a really affordable deal, especially with the cap going up. That's what you do. They locked up a 20. You think Lou Lamoriello would
lock up a young 22-year-old defenseman, a 22-year-old budding defenseman who skates like the wind and puts up points like freaking Erik Karlsson? Wouldn't it be nice to do that?
Here's the thing. Kaprizov was what, 22 years old, 23 years old when he signed that deal?
I'm not sure.
It was the same thing that he did with Sorokin, same type thing. And they signed him to a monster extension after 1 year. That's the way you do it. And oh my gosh, how were they able to do it? They had to get rid of Parise. They had to get rid of Suter. How's it working out for Minnesota? You got a guy who's better than the two of them put together on a good day.
Yeah, Kirill Kaprizov, 4 games played so far this year, 4 goals, 4 assists.
Pretty good.
Pretty decent. Pretty decent.
Kevin Weeks on the national broadcast of the Islanders Devil game today said that he thinks that there's a little bit of Cale Makar and Noah Dobson.
Uh-oh, you better not let the Islander fans know that, because that $10 million price tag freaking 3 years from now looks oh so familiar.
He will not get $10 million. He will not.
You're nuts. I'm telling you, he's going to get $10 million a year. You are freaking nuts if you think he doesn't. You're nuts. You don't see what everybody else sees in that young man. And all these Islander fans, right, Grumpy? We may be long gone. We may not have a podcast, but who knows? 4 years from now, anything could happen. I will tell you this. 4 years from now, the people who listen to this show, when he signs that contract, will immediately think, holy shit, the son of a bitch got a $10 million a year contract. You're like, holy shit, he was right. He was right. He said it 4 years before anybody else even thought it, dreamt it of a reality. That's what's going to happen, Grumpy.
Okay, we'll see.
Stephen S. said, yes, the Hawks coach from the Mighty Ducks movie. Never forget the wise words of the young Gordon Bombay.
To a young Gordon Bombay.
To the young Gordon Bombay, I'm sorry. If you miss this shot, you're not just letting me down. You're letting your whole team down.
Man, oh man.
James F. saying, speaking of the reverse retro, how about bringing back the New York Islanders? The mascot.
Niles.
John M. says, Peter Puck was Hockey Night in Canada's first period intermission promo to promote the game.
Yeah, Peter Puck, man.
Drew L. said, TJ, so let's talk about Robbie Anderson getting no love in Arizona too. Yes, Robbie Anderson. Who would forget, Grumpy? He had a little bit of an issue for the Carolina Panthers.
And credit to Steve Wilkes. He just sent him get off the field. You don't like it? Get off the field. And he was traded Monday morning. They moved him. Bye-bye. That's what you do. A guy doesn't want to be there. There's no sense keeping a guy who doesn't want to be there on the team. No sense.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to pull up the video of what. Oh my God, Jesus H. Oof. I just ran across something pretty disgusting. I'm sorry on Twitter, but yes, he got in an issue. He had an issue there in Carolina. They got very upset with him, or he got very upset, and he said, "Get the hell out of here." He got in a verbal argument. I'm trying to find that. Find that little sequence of events. They threw him out of it, threw him off the sidelines, and he was gone. He then was gone as hell. They freaking go ahead and trade his ass, Grumpy.
Yep.
Let me show you this here, because that's right. We didn't have a podcast this last Sunday
right.
when this happened. So
I sent you a lot of stuff for that. You just ignored it.
No, you never sent me this. He's getting in a fight there. He's getting upset. Man, he's upset. Remember, he was not a big fan of Sam Darnold. Or I'm sorry, he was not a big fan of Baker Mayfield.
He's got that crazy ass hairdo, that
sideshow Bob hairdo. Yeah, they kicked his ass out. He was talking shit. He was talking shit to him. They said, "Get the hell out of here, buddy. That's it. You're done. Good job by the coach."
That's right. Credit to Steve Wilkes.
Get his ass out of here.
Yeah, get him out. That's it.
You're done. Think about when he did this shit. Think about where this is in the game. This is in the fourth quarter, the start of the fourth quarter. You're down by 7 points with the offense on the field. I'm sorry. Let me remove this comment and let me remove this banner, because just to give everybody the context of when this all occurred, this happened And the fourth quarter, the start of the fourth quarter, 15 minutes left, right? The Panthers down by 7, and the Rams up 17-10. And he pulls that shenanigan. He said, "Get the hell out of here.
I am
Not part of
rooting.
the team."
I am rooting for Steve Wilkes to be a good
Absolutely.
head coach. I like guys who just, you know what? You don't want to be here. You're going to mouth off. You're gone. And we're going to move your ass the next day. You don't want to be here. No problem. We don't want you here. Good for him. I'm rooting for Steve Wilkes. Rooting for him hard down in Carolina.
Speaking about this, I hope we don't get called hypocritical. We're going to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo in a second. But James F says Altuve's 0 for 22. And Drew L says, "I'm going to name my kid Scoot. Scoot over." I'm sorry. Joe said, "Oh, TJ, that reminds me. Did you see what I sent you on the debacle Aaron Boone managed in Game 3 of the Yankees and Cleveland series? You're going to start to read it. Go for the read it to the bottom, though. And I didn't see anything about that. And honestly, Grumpy, I think you should call Parise 38 not special and Palmieri F double minus. Isn't that right?
Yeah, no, 38 special is the name. It's a play on his age. You know, they're a 38 specials a band. They were good in their day. Not great, good. But they're not anything anymore, just like Zach Parise. And F minus, well, you know.
Drew L says, also teaching Grump, did you see that Draymond Green made that whole Jordan Poole punch into a documentary? Well, Draymond is certified insecure clown. But hey, doesn't seem to be but that seems to be all trash talkers.
He's a trash talker without doubt.
So let's talk a little bit about the big item in sports, Grumpy. Cristiano Ronaldo. I'll paint the scene for you. Cristiano Ronaldo being used this year as a bench guy and not even getting time on the pitch. So this year, Cristiano made it known early in the season, before the season started, I want to be transferred. I do not want to play for Manchester United, because he was able to see he's not in their plans.
And
he had 4 to 5 teams that legitimately wanted him to play for their club. Go ahead, Grumpy.
And Manchester United hired Eric Ten Hag, who's from Holland. He has a very, he has a certain style that he plays. And, it's not conducive to the way Cristiano Ronaldo plays. Well, this going in, he wanted to leave after the end of last season. He wanted to be gone. He let it be known. He wanted to transfer. And here's what people don't understand who don't know what world football / soccer is all about. If a player doesn't want to play there, they don't keep you. You get moved.
Because in the place of world football, it's different, because you could transfer to any league during any of the transfer windows. And if you are known, or if you're a team that will not transfer a player when they want to go, you will not have anybody signing on your team, because if they want to leave, they think, holy shit, I can't move. If your contract is movable and you want to move, teams move you. It is that simple. Yes. And if they don't, it always ends poorly. It ends poorly for the team, and it's poorly for the player. And it hurts your ability to bring in transfers down the road. It's that simple.
Because if you're not a starter, it's not like, in football, professional football, you come in for a play, you go out for a play.
I'm the backup tackle, and I get like 50% of the snaps. It's not like that.
Right. You play, most guys, I think they have 5 substitutions because of COVID. It used to be 3. And once you're subbed out of the game, you cannot go back in. Cristiano Ronaldo is arguably the greatest soccer player who ever lived.
He is the greatest soccer player that's ever lived. Absolutely.
Okay. Do you remember what I said the night he was rumored to go to Manchester City?
Yes.
He did the podcast, and I said, he went to Manchester United. And I'm like, that's the worst move you're ever going to make, is going back to Manchester United. And he did well for them last year. He still is probably the best player on that team. Now, is he the same player he was 4 years ago, 3 years ago? No, he is not. He can't run anymore. He can't run like he used to at 37 years old. It's tough. But here's the thing. He's so creative with the ball and feeding teammates that he is somebody that any team should want on a squad.
He leads
Eric,
from the front too.
but Aaron Ten Hag wants guys pressing forward, pressing back, coming back forward.
Running
Guess
all
what?
over the place as a 37-year-old man, you just can't do that anymore.
You can't do that. You just can't do that. Here's the thing. You really can't do that, period. It doesn't last. You can't do it. You're finished by the end of the year. That's the way Ten Hag likes to play. Chelsea, the owner of Chelsea Football Club,
Who was, remember, we talked about this year. The owner of Chelsea Football Club was an oil baron.
yes.
He had to sell his team. He was forced to sell his team. And the American owners who own, I think, some of Fenway, they own the Boston, they own the
No, it's
Boston
somebody
Red
else.
Sox.
It's somebody else.
Somebody else? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
John Henry owns Liverpool. So this is somebody else. And here's the thing. Chelsea wanted, the ownership of Chelsea, the new owners, wanted Cristiano Ronaldo for Chelsea. Chelsea needs a striker.
They had personal terms agreed to him saying, when you're coming to Chelsea, this is what you're going to get paid. This is what the fee we're going to pay Man United to bring you over. And it was pretty much a done deal.
Cristiano Ronaldo wanted to play in Champions League.
Correct.
Cristiano has an ego the size of a planet. He absolutely does. But you know what? He's so good. That's why he has that ego. That's what makes him so good. It's what's made him so good. They had an agreement. Chelsea wanted him. The head coach of Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel, talked to Ten Hag, their friends, and Ten Hag said to him, you don't want him. He's not going to fit what you do. And Tuchel, the coach, said to the ownership group, he says, we don't want him. He doesn't fit in our group. And they signed another guy, 34 years old, who can't hold a candle, Pierre-Emerick
Aubameyang.
I call him Boomerang. Aubameyang. They signed him, and he's been a bust. Tuchel's already been fired. So if ownership just would have been in Cristiano, this would have already been a fait accompli done.
Correct. So there was a lot. He wanted to go to Chelsea. He had other legitimate offers on the table. Long story short, they would not let him leave. He has been unhappy. They have not played him. They have not started him a single game in the Premier League season this year.
He plays
maybe one or two, but he's a substitute, if that. And he plays on Thursdays in Europa League. Right. So it's like, imagine for the best teams in the entire world, they compete in something called Champions League. And for the second tier of the best teams in the world, they compete in something called Europa League. So he's not competing at the top level, and a guy who should be even at this age. So they sent him the warm up twice. Usually when you're getting sent to warm up, you get subbed on. That's how that works. When they say, hey, go run, warm up, get ready, get loose, you're coming on to the game. They were up 2-0 against Tottenham Hotspurs. And they sent him to warm up twice. Well, they didn't put Cristiano in. And Cristiano said, fuck it. I'm walking out early. And people, you could see this guy. He's getting a little chuckle out of it too. And you could see all the fans around like, what the hell? Cristiano's walking off the pitch, right? As the game's going on, you're not looking around talking to other people unless something legitimate is happening right near you. You see everybody looking at Cristiano. Not watching the game, looking at Cristiano. What the hell? He's leaving.
I think he
early.
left with like a minute or two to go.
He left in the 89th minute.
Yeah.
So he left with a minute left and then stoppage time. So
he wasn't going on. He was pissed. And he shouldn't have reacted like that.
No, absolutely he should have.
No, he should not have reacted like that.
He should go ahead and use his. He's the best freaking player to ever lace up a pair of freaking boots.
Okay.
And the fact that this guy does them like that, he should go out. Honestly, if that's me, I'm going out in the media and the press. I'm saying this guy is a freaking miserable coach. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Freaking miserable. Go coach in your rinky-dink freaking league, Eric Ten Hag. Ugh,
okay.
Ridiculous.
He is kept quiet all year.
Exactly.
He's not said anything. Everyone knows he wants to leave, but he's never said anything critical of the coach, the players. It was a mistake for him to do this because he's going to be vilified in the press without a doubt.
Who cares?
He did come out today and issued a statement.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But I mean, so you think it was bad for him to do this?
Yeah, I think it's a bad look. It is. What he should have done is said, you know what? Well, after the game's over, he says, bro, I'm not playing for you anymore. Get rid of me. Go to ownership saying, I need out of here. I don't want to play here anymore. He shouldn't have done it that way, but he should have absolutely talked to the coach and said, where the direction you're going.
He's already said this to the team that I don't want to play here. Transfer me. They wouldn't let him go.
But the rumors were that he was absolutely getting moved in January. Absolutely.
That was the rumors a while ago, but they're still not. Okay, here's the thing. The rumors were he was going to get moved in the summer. But guess what? The team and the organization would not let him walk. So guess what? He played nice. He played quiet. What do I need to do to get freaking moved? I played quiet. I played nice early. You wouldn't let me leave. And this has been freaking miserable. It's the World Cup in a month. And I'm sitting on the freaking pine, not doing a damn thing. Let me leave.
I think that had a big amount to do with it because of the World Cup. He needs to play. He needs to be in game shape for the World Cup. And he's not getting it there.
You cannot say I'm playing one game every other week and expect to be a top performer, expect to be successful in the World Cup. You just can't do that.
It's his last shot at a World Cup.
Correct.
And I mean, I understand why he did it, but he just should have said, get me out of here.
He's already done that.
But
get me out of here again. Knock, knock, knock. Hey, I know I told you this at the beginning of the year and every single day during the transfer window, but can you get me out of here? What do you mean? He said this already. He wanted to go. He had personal terms worked out with another team. Do you think as a Manchester United would say, oh, I'm glad you're talking to another team working out what your contract's going to be when you get moved? I still think you want to play with us. No, absolutely not. He's already let him know he wants to go. They didn't do shit. Guess what? He should be walking out every freaking game he gets a chance to and just flick him off. Say, hey, you go, buddy. He should say, hey, you want to come in? No, I'm not coming out. I'm not dressing for you. Let me freaking leave. Let me leave. I'm the best freaking player that's ever fucking put on this kit for Man United. Let me leave. What they did to him was criminal. Let him leave. Criminal, Grumpy. Criminal.
Well, their mistake was not moving him in the offseason. And Ten Hag knew he wasn't going to play him, but he wanted him.
He had a very important role. Remember, Ten Hag said this. You've got a very important role for us.
He wanted him as insurance.
Exactly.
That's what he wanted.
He wanted a backup option. A guy who's not a backup to play the backup role. Could you blame him for being angry?
They were down to Manchester City 4-0, and he said he wouldn't bring Cristiano in because of his stature as being a great player. He thought he didn't want to bring him in for mop-up duty. And Cristiano was pissed. Cristiano just wants to play. Correct. He just wants to play.
Respect. You respect me so much I don't even come off the bench. That's how much you respect me. I don't come off the bench when we're losing. I don't come off the bench when we're tied. I don't come off the bench. The only time I come off the bench is when somebody gets injured. Okay, gotcha. Is that the role I play? Is the backup? I scored 18 goals in 28 games in the Premier League. I led the Premier League in goals the second half of last season. I was top 3 in goals scored in the entire calendar year. I missed the first 3 months of the season, and I finished top 3 in goals for this same miserable club last year. And you think I don't have the ability to play? I played with the guy that you're starting over me right now. It's freaking ridiculous. And he should have made, here's the thing, Cristiano should make more of a public freaking stick of it because that is ridiculous what they did to him. Criminal. Absolutely criminal.
He realized he made a mistake, though. It's a mistake to walk out like that.
It's not a mistake. I back him to the end of the damn earth on that. You know what I'd say? Here's Ten Hag. Oh, I will deal with that tomorrow. Not today. We're celebrating this victory. People are saying, oh, this is the biggest victory in Erik Ten Hag's career. And he goes ahead and Cristiano's so selfish he has to make it about himself. You beat freaking Tottenham. You beat Tottenham 2-0 at Old Trafford. Congratulations. You won a home fixture against freaking mediocre Tottenham. That's the biggest win. Oh, it's so important. Get the hell out of here. The media is just a load of shit. They've always hated Cristiano.
Yeah, because he doesn't play their games.
Correct. Correct. And guess what? When people shit talk Cristiano, I love it. When Jamie Carragher shit talk Cristiano over and over again, before the game, he was going down there, seeing some of the guys, says hello to Thierry Henry, says hello to the few players. Jamie Carragher doesn't even fucking look at the guy.
No, he has his hand out. Jamie Carragher held his hand out. He just did a blow by on him.
He didn't even look at him. He gave every other commentator a hug, hello, and he didn't even acknowledge the existence of Jamie Carragher. That's why they don't like him.
Cristiano keeps receipts. Absolutely. You got to remember where he came from. I mean, a really rundown, dilapidated area of Portugal. I mean, really a slum. And he's elevated his whole family, and he does a lot of stuff that people don't realize. That don't get a whole lot of pub. The things that he does with charities and just Make-A-Wish stuff. He's really, really good at that. Fans come running on the pitch. going because they have to see him. He doesn't like back away. He's always, hey, let's be nice to them. He always talks to them, helps them off the field, stuff like that. He's a truly good person. Now he gets a bad rep because he is a selfish player. He wants to score. He wants to be the best it can be, and don't get in his way.
Guess what? He scored more goals than any other player who's ever freaking tied up a boot. So yeah, he does want to score, and he's done it better than anybody who's ever played the sport before. That's right. That's right. Was Michael Jordan a little selfish when he played? Goddamn sure he was.
Yeah.
But he was the best that ever played.
The best players are. The best players are.
That's how you get to that point.
You want to see the great players get petulant?
Could you imagine benching Michael Jordan? Michael, don't worry. You're playing 0 minutes tonight, buddy. Every night, 0 minutes. Hey, we know you're on the Washington. Think about that. Be like the Washington Wizards saying, yeah, we got no use for you, buddy.
The whole thing is Ten Hag didn't want him. They should have just moved him. Cristiano should have listened to me. If he would have listened to the podcast, he would have known going to Manchester United was a bad move.
Well, here it is, right? Cristiano now is their little, we're going to go ahead and hit you a slap on the wrist. Cristiano will not be a part of Manchester United's team for Saturday's game and fixture against Chelsea. The rest of the squad is fully focused on preparing for that fixture. Here's the thing. Could you imagine pissing off the greatest has ever played? Here's the thing. I wouldn't take that too kindly, and I'm going to fuck you up in the room. Simple. Absolutely simple. Cristiano's word alone carries so much weight. Carries more than Eric Ten Hag's weight. He'd have to win 15 Champions Leagues in a row to carry the same weight as Cristiano's freaking voice in the room. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
You have to know where Cristiano came from as a player. When Manchester United was a great team under Sir Alex Ferguson, he was taught what being a winner was about. Going to Real Madrid, everyone was held accountable. When he went to Juventus, he would tell guys, we need to be better. I need to be better in the locker room games. We can't quit. All he wants to do is win. He's a winner. All he wants to do is win. He came back to Manchester United, and he was getting on some of the younger guys who were he's like, I'm trying to tell them things to do, and they just ignore me. Players are different now. So he sounds like the old man says, get off my lawn. But here's the thing. He knows how to win. He knows what it takes to be at the highest level of his profession. You don't win 5 Ballon d'Ors, and should have won more, honestly. You don't win 5 Ballon d'Ors without being a great player and knowing what it's like to play with great teammates. And that's what he's done. You come from great teams and you go back to a team like this, and no one wants to listen. They all think they know better than you. They haven't done anything. And this guy's been at the pinnacle of his profession for 10, 12, 15 years. It's just, it is what it is at this stage. He needs to move, but he did, he didn't really apologize, but he did release a statement.
Yes, the statement he released, hold on a second. I did like it. I was about to ask you what you think. Hold on here. The statement Cristiano said, I just feel I have to keep working hard, support my teammates, and be ready. This is Manchester United. In United we stand.
You got to read the whole thing. It says,
okay, gotcha. The whole thing says, Cristiano, as I've always done throughout my career, I try to live and play respectfully towards my colleagues, my adversaries, and my coaches. That hasn't changed. I haven't changed. I'm the same person and the same professional I've been for the last 20 years playing elite football, and respect has always played a very important role in my decision-making process. I started very young, and the older and most experienced players' examples were always very important to me. Therefore, later on, I always tried to set the example myself for the youngsters and grew in all the teams that I've represented. Unfortunately, that's not always possible. And sometimes the heat of the moment gets the best of us. Right now, I feel that I have to keep working hard. And Carrington. Support my teammates and be ready for everything in any given game. Giving in to the pressure is not an option. It never was. This is Manchester United. United we stand. Soon we'll be together again.
Here's the thing. He knows he made a mistake. Walking out like that was a mistake.
He did not make a mistake. He did not make. You cannot convince me he made a mistake. Guess what? They're going to say, oh, it's about the team. It's not about you. Guess what? He doesn't want to be a part of the fucking team. He told you that in the offseason. He said, trade me. I'm just saying transfer me. Let me walk. Let me go somewhere else. You wouldn't let him do that. He doesn't want to be a part of your team. How many freaking times do you have to freaking beat that in your head? He doesn't want to be a part of your freaking club. Let him walk. You wouldn't let him do it. So what is he going to do? He's got to go ahead and let you know any which way. Hey, Eric Ten Hag. Hey, Glazers. I don't want to be a part of the organization. I don't want to be a part of this. I want to play in Champions. I don't want to be a part of Man United right now. Let me walk, please. Let me go. No, we're not going to let you do that. Sorry. I know you had 4 to 5 legitimate offers where you're working on personal terms, but yeah, no, we're not going to let you walk. Sorry, my friend. We're not going to let you do that. What do you mean you're not going to let me do that? Yeah, we're not going to. You've got an important role for us. Okay, I trust you. Just like Eric Ten Hag said in the press and the media, I've got an important role. What's my important role? Oh, gotcha. My important role is to sit on the bench, and if one of the guys get injured, I come in. That's my important role? Fuck you. Fuck you. I would have walked off every damn game. Every freaking game. That's pitiful. Walking off is a good thing. Good on you, Ronaldo. Good on you,
I disagree. And I'm the hugest Cristiano Ronaldo fan. He shouldn't have done it. He should have said something after the game. Dude, I'm not playing for you anymore.
He's already said that.
We don't know if he said that to him. Don't know if he said that to the manager. We don't know if he said, I'm not going out there again for you. Let's talk to the owner. I want out of here. I will not play for you anymore.
When you're signing contracts for other teams, does that mean I want out of here? Does that mean I want to stay here? What do you think that fucking means?
But he probably never said directly to Ten Hag, I'm not playing here for you anymore. I guarantee you he did not say that. I mean, that's what he should have done. He says, I'm not playing. You treated me poorly. You talk about respect, making me get up and down to warm up. Really? What have you ever done in the world of soccer, Eric Ten Hag? I can't play. Here's the thing. I don't fit here. I don't want to be in here. I want to be moved. I will not play for you anymore. I don't care what excuse you make. Just say I'm injured, this, that, or the other thing, personal issues. I have to leave. He didn't want to play. I mean, and that's what he should have done. In the preseason, he was late showing up because he didn't want to be there.
Correct.
He did not want to play.
He did not report to camp because he said, I do not want to play here. Transfer me.
And this is hard. Honestly, this is hard for fans of American sports to understand because that's not the way it is. Once a team has you under contract, that's just it. It's not the way it is in world soccer. It just isn't like that. Guys move all the time, under contract or not. They get moved all the time. They don't get traded for players. It's only monetary things.
Yeah. So that's what happened. They went ahead and said, in Manchester United, the board said we 100% back Eric Ten Hag.
What else were they going to say? They're not going to say they backed the player over the coach.
I was about to say, he's not Cristiano in his prime. If that's Cristiano in his prime, they said, yeah, we backed the player. Get the hell out of here.
If it was Cristiano in his prime, this never would have happened because he'd be on the field every minute of every game.
Correct.
Here's the thing. When Zinedine Zidane was coaching Real Madrid, he was able to, because he knew that Ronaldo was slowing down, he was able, because of his stature as a former player, get Cristiano to sit out certain games. When the blowouts, he'd come off to save him for the big games. That's what is at the big games. Have him ready. And Zidane knew how to talk to him. I don't think Eric Ten Hag knows how to do that. He's just treating him like another player, and it's just not the way it is in world soccer. It just isn't.
You're correct. He's treating the greatest player that's ever freaking tied a boot as an everyday guy. Are you shitting me? It'd be like saying with Alexander Ovechkin at his age, being like, hey, Alexander, buddy, yeah, you're doing everything everybody else. He's the best freaking one of the best pure goal scorers to ever freaking lay. It'd be like telling Wayne Gretzky, towards the tail end, yeah, man, you're an everyday guy. Don't worry about it, Wayne.
I realize we're towards the end of the podcast, but I do want to break some news. Christian McCaffrey has been traded to the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow. Christian McCaffrey to the wow, my God, the 49, dude, they suck. The 49ers, yikes.
For draft pick, as Elmer Fudd would say, for draft picks. Thank you.
But yeah, Ronaldo getting closer and closer to terminating his contract with Man United. And we also
in the offseason, he was willing to take half of his salary to go somewhere else.
Correct.
To just facilitate a deal.
Yep, Man United are considering releasing Cristiano Ronaldo on a free transfer, says iSport.
Yeah, he will never play for them again. And good. I hope he goes to Chelsea or some team in the English Premier League where he gets to, because I guarantee you, if he plays for somebody who winds up playing against Manchester United, he will score goals against them. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
And what I would love, just seeing Cristiano hang 3 on him. Just hit him with a little comma right in there. Here you go, buddy. Calm your ass down. Sit your ass down. And I hope he celebrates right in front of him. Fuck you. What they did to him was criminal. One of the best players that's ever played. Criminal. And guess what? You're gonna get that back in return. Don't you even freaking worry, buddy. Yep, here it is. Thanks, Alexander, for sending that. Panthers are trading Pro Bowl running back Christian McCaffrey to San Francisco 49ers in exchange for draft picks, plural. Sources tell ESPN. McCaffrey returns to the Bay Area where he attended Stanford.
Good move. I don't know what they got.
Dude, good move for who? I'm sorry.
For Carolina. They get up from under that contract. He's going to put up monster numbers for San Francisco. Monster numbers. That's a running back haven. They turn anyone into a good player. They catch passes out of the backfield, especially with crappy playing quarterback. And they have a great zone blocking scheme that works for every running back. That's a good move by the 49ers. Really good.
So Drew wanted to send us a note of these. This guy, I don't know if you remember this guy, Grumpy. He's the Baltimore Ravens fan. He's kind of like the speed, I guess, of football. He gets very irate when his team loses. Grumpy, so I'll let you watch this. This is when the Ravens lost to the Giants. Like doing some freaking having conniptions all over the place.
We can't see anything because you got the banner up.
Damn it. Okay, Grumpy, give me a sec. Boop. I'll let you rewatch it. Sorry, my bad.
It's only 10 seconds. Fell down like he's having some type of spasmodic reaction here. Jesus, rolling on the floor.
He was the one who looks like he's got to be living in his parents' attic, right? That's like his little spot there.
So.
Attic.
Yep, I think so. And they're probably shut up there.
I assume they're not very. Look at all these comments coming in. Look at all the little L's comments, Grumpy. Jesus Christ.
We got a lot of jerseys.
Oh my God. He better watch out. He's gonna pop his damn heart if he doesn't slow down.
He's a kid.
Holy shit. Oh man, on that, Grumpy. That is something. That is something else. I tell you, something else. Got a comment. We got a few more comments. Let me get that banner back up here. Boop. All right, you got a few more comments, Grumpy. Ronaldo better than Pele. I'm not a soccer fan, so I'm curious. Yes.
I've seen Pele and Ronaldo. Ronaldo is just such a phenomenal athlete. There's certain things, like everyone says, well, Leo Messi, is great. Here's the thing. Lionel Messi has the best left foot there's ever been, but Cristiano Ronaldo could score with his left, his right, and great at heading. He was just a tremendous athlete, 6'1". He was able to get up. You don't score that many goals in the best leagues in the world, playing against the best teams in the biggest moments. You're the greatest player. He was phenomenal. And Pele was great. He played in Brazil his whole life. He never played in Europe. He wanted playing for the Cosmos, and he was great. He was phenomenal. He was a magician with the ball. He didn't play in the best leagues throughout his entire career.
A lot of the goals he had were in miserable friendly games against low-tier competition. Okay, Pele was fantastic.
He was.
No Cristiano. Here's the thing. Maradona has a better left foot than freaking Messi does.
Messi. Okay, Messi's good. But here's the thing. If you hit Messi a little bit, bang him around a little bit, he doesn't produce. Cristiano
Maradona, when shit got tough, got freaking tough right back.
Yeah.
You see those videos of him punching people and cleating the shit out of people and brawling out there. Tough guy.
Maradona could play in any league.
Any style.
Cristiano could play any league, any style. He played in the Premier League, which is ultra physical, even at his age, ultra physical. Look at Messi. He played for Barca, and he was great. No doubt about it, but it's nowhere near as physical in Spain as it is in England or in Germany is another physical league. Then he goes to Paris. another, that's like a cakewalk league. And he was miserable his first year. Cristiano he was great everywhere he's been, every single stop.
Sporting, Man United, Juve, Real Madrid. Now back to Man United. Fantastic. Okay, if you look at the teammates that freaking Leo Messi's had, it's not even close. It's not even comparable when you look at Leo Messi's always been surrounded with the best players that have ever.
They came up together. They came up together as a group at Barcelona. They were all from their academy, and that's why they were so good. They've been playing together since they were like 14, 15 years old until they were in their 30s. And that's why they were so good. They knew each other. They all played the same spots year after year after year. That's why they were so good. And he was a truly great player, but in a big game, he would disappear. Cristiano Ronaldo, big game player.
Listen to the players that he's played with on a consistent basis. Mascherano played with a long time. Jordi Alba, Ronaldinho. You look at it, Xavi, Iniesta, Neymar for a long time as well. Pedro was a fantastic player. Samuel Eto'o, he also played with. Zlatan, he played a little bit with. I mean, you look at the names, Sergio Busquets, the names that go on, Luis Suarez, the names go on and on. Dani Alves, the names go on and on. These talented players that were just lined up with Messi his entire career. Cristiano started off in Sporting. And that Man United team, when you look at the names, okay, besides Rio Ferdinand, besides Wayne Rooney and Messi, Ronaldo, there weren't a lot of big name guys then. It wasn't like he was playing with Cantona.
He was electric.
Yeah. Ronaldo's just something else. He's just better than anybody's ever done it. I've even smashed an Xbox remote with a baseball bat and used a weed whacker on his Lamar Jackson jersey is what this guy did. He sounds like Son X. Son X has broken his fair share of Xbox remotes. Drew L says, hey, TJ, do you remember Islanders Devon Taves special? AJ Greer. I'd check his stats right now. Oh, God, let's see. AJ Greer does sound familiar. Where the hell is he here? Oh my God. Jesus Christ. AJ Greer has 5 games played for the Boston Bruins, 3 goals and 2 assists. What the fuck? What did we trade him away for?
Nothing.
Oh my God. That's bad. Oh my God. No, we traded him away in the freaking Parise deal, I think. Or no, I'm sorry. We traded him away in the Palmieri and Palmieri's agent.
It's even worse. That trade looks even worse.
Dave's trade prospect. I don't know. I got to look back on that. Jay Greer.
Maybe he was a guy that we could have drafted, and we lost a draft pick for trading Andrew Ladd. I don't know.
We acquired forward AJ Greer acquired from the Colorado Avalanche in exchange for Kyle Burrows from the Islanders. Yes, we traded away AJ Greer in the trade for Zajac and Palmieri. Holy shit. We traded away Mason Jost. We traded away AJ Greer. We traded away a first and a fourth for Travis Zajac and Kyle Palmieri. Oh, great. It's the gift. Trade's the gift that keeps on giving, isn't it, Grumpy?
Yep.
Holy crap. You got to love it, man. You've got to love it. What's up, Frank? How are you? Rest in peace to Elijah Mitchell's career.
Yeah, he's a backup now. I can drop him off. I've been carrying him on injured reserve all year with one spot.
Stephen S. says, who wouldn't want to play for Manchester United? Me, who knows pretty much nothing about soccer outside a handful of teams like Man United, who actually is probably one of the best soccer teams.
They're not even close.
Their reputation is that they're a good team, but their record and their performance is really bad. It's like, honestly, imagine the Dallas Cowboys of soccer. They get the rep for being fantastic. They're loved by many. They're very, very notable across the world, but they never produce. They don't win playoff games. The last time they won a Super Bowl was like 30 years ago. That's
the last time that Manchester United won a Champions League trophy was Cristiano Ronaldo's last year there before he went to Real Madrid. When he led them to victory. That was it. With a tremendous header, I'm sure, I don't know if many people have seen it, where he's like, it seems like 3-4 foot off the ground. He's just that good. He's a tremendous athlete. Tremendous athlete. That's what sets him apart.
Alexander says, hey guys, just got off of work. What's up? Damn, Elmer Fudd. Is that you on the podcast? Dwaft picks. Mario says CR7 is the greatest player ever. I know quite a few people who have followed the sport for over 6 decades. I don't think it's not even the best Portuguese, and don't think he's not even the best Portuguese player ever. They take Eusebio over. That's
you
funny.
know what?
CR7.
No one in Portugal, no one who knows anything about soccer takes Eusebio over Cristiano Ronaldo. Here's the thing.
Eusebio is great, but no fucking Cristiano.
Cristiano was the fastest guy out there. He just ran by people. He had tremendous ball skills too. He could do everything. Eusebio couldn't do everything.
You said okay,
and I'm not putting down Eusebio.
He was a good center. He was a good center forward, but
I'm not putting Eusebio down. He's no Cristiano Ronaldo. He just isn't. Sorry. Apologize to your friends for me. No way. Here's the thing. No athletes from 40 years ago are as good as the guys today. They just aren't. The training is so much better now. The guys
are like saying, I like Luis Figo. Oh, Luis Figo is better. Not even close. Rui Costa. Yeah, I like
great players, but they're not Cristiano Ronaldo. Sorry.
Exactly. Not even in the same freaking stratosphere. No. Alex sent us something here. I'll let you watch it as we were winding down on the show. Okay. This is a video.
Who's that? Mike Tom? That's
Brian Flores. And Tua. Yeah. I'm not so sure. Alexander, let me ask you this. Is Tua going to be healthy to play?
Or that's Mike Tomlin's deal. That's Mike Tomlin.
It's Mike Tomlin. Brian Flores, remember, is the assistant coach for the Steelers.
Well, Alexander's feeling pretty good because the Dolphins are playing Pittsburgh this week.
Watch out, baby. Watch out. Pittsburgh. Watch out. Kenny Pickett on the loose. Kenny Pickett. Stephen S. said, I'm happy to see that Russell Westbrook is back. Let's be real. The Lakers suck. I don't see them making the postseason this year. Oof.
I hope not.
Alexander says, boy, the Islanders, they suck, Grumpy.
Yeah, back down to earth.
Drew L. said the Panthers are definitely drafting a running back in this draft, though.
They need everything on the
outside. And Mario says, Haley wasn't allowed to play outside of Brazil. He was considered to be a national treasure.
Okay, if he pushed to leave Brazil, he would have been allowed to.
Correct.
They finally let him go when he was 34 years old to play for the Cosmos because they got a ridiculous sum of money for him. And all I'm saying is, and I'm not putting down Pele. I saw him play. He was great. But the whole thing is, and he was a tremendous player, but he was already retired by the time he was 37. He wasn't leading a league in scoring when he was 37. He hung him up at 36 after playing 3 years with the Cosmos. I mean, and the fact is, he scored a lot of those goals because he only played in the Brazilian league, regardless of, they didn't want him to leave. Maybe he didn't want to leave. Who knows? He didn't play the best competition. He was really good in World Cups. He was. I think I don't know if he won 2 or 3. One year when they won, I think he was out. But I think he won 2, including on probably the greatest team ever. What people are saying is Brazil 1962, I want to say.
3. One in 58, 62, and 70.
Okay. So I think the 62 team they said was the greatest ever. And he was a phenomenal player, but you never saw him heading the ball. You never saw him. If you look at the films, just look at the video of the two players and tell me who's better. Let your eyes tell you who's better. Cristiano Ronaldo was scoring goals from like, I want to say like 30 yards out, just hammering the ball, top corners.
Pele didn't even play on the 62. He didn't even play in the finals in 62.
Oh, 60. Okay, so 62 was the year that he was injured. Okay, yeah. So he was injured and didn't want to not play.
World Cup there, no?
So 70.
He was still part of the team. So, yeah. I mean, like Garrincha. Yeah, I was about to say, so it's a 70 team that you said was the best.
A lot of people say that Garrincha was the greatest Brazilian player ever. I mean, it's all what time you grow up in, what you see. Here's the thing. I've had the pleasure of seeing Maradona. I've had the pleasure of seeing Pele. I've had the pleasure of seeing Messi and Ronaldo. To me, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, another great player. There's a lot of great players, but for me, Cristiano, with his blend of athleticism, to go around with his, his work ethic. He might have not been the most skilled guy, like a guy who's just able to dance around, but everything was physical with him. He was just a physical player, so good. He run by guys. He had magical tricks. To me, he's the greatest player ever. Just was. Yeah. Sorry. Not anymore, but he was.
Fantastic guy. Fantastic here. And don't forget Eusebio, the Portuguese great from the old days.
Right.
Remember, we buried AJ Greer in the AHL. Yeah.
What about
I think that's talking for the Islanders. Yeah, I was about to say we will definitely bring that up. AJ Greer.
What about Carter Verhagen? Remember him?
Yeah, Carter Verhagen. Yeah.
He wasn't good enough to play for our team. Boy, he's doing pretty good for Florida.
He's having an okay season.
Yeah. Had an okay season last year and the year before, too. Pretty good.
Frank says, true, Grumpy Old Man, Eusebio was an all-time legend, but he's not CR7. I love Luis Figo. He's great, but
he was great, too.
Yeah. It's like, you can't put anybody else's name in Cristiano's realm. Sorry.
Right. I mean, here's the thing. When you're putting up a Mount Rushmore of soccer players, there's no way Cristiano's not on it. Absolutely not.
Correct. Absolutely correct on that one, Grumpy. Just like the Steelers quarterback, Kenny Pickett. He'll play. He'll be good. Dolphins quarterback shouldn't play, or his career's in jeopardy. And Grumpy, I'll let you read that one here.
By the way, from Drew, says, I don't know if I told you this. My dad actually drove Baker Mayfield's wife for Uber. Whether she forgot or not, my father did not receive a tip. Oh.
Damn. No, I didn't know that. Shit.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. Drew says, Verhaeghe, Greer, Taves. Remember, guys, in Lou we trust. Grump, man, good way to end the show. What do you want to say before we wrap things up?
I want to say love and laughter to everyone who listens, and even those who don't, from TJ and the Grumpy Old Man.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Again, it's a twice-a-week show that happens every Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Like on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter, leave a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. It lets us know you like the content too. We'll see you guys Sunday, 8 p.m. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you, Grumpy.
My pleasure.